Hello on the internet. It's Rapture Day, September the 23rd. Here we are. We've been raptured. I'm CParks.
And I'm Golden Rose K.
And together we're the park bench. Wow. I
thought together we just sit on this park bench.
Yeah. So on my OBS here, and I laughed about it, and I do every time, but I did audibly, where our cameras are gone from the screen, right?
Yeah.
But I have another box on my OBS that I can still see our cameras in. It's like the vertical display, so I can like see us on our other vertical display. Very small. And every time during your theme song, I'm just kind of like bob my head around back and forth. And then I look at the cam and I'm like, oh, Kay's doing it too. We're both just like, waiting for a show to start.
How happy I am with the theme song makes it so much harder for me to be happy with an ending song, which is why it's not done yet.
Okay, good. Yeah, so anyway, here we are.
Yeah, Chris, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were to get turned into an animal, but you kept every single thought and feeling, emotion that you had, but you were an animal, do you think you could fall in love with other animals, or would you still lust after humans?
Wow. That's a great question.
Yeah.
If I got turned into an animal, still had all my thoughts, emotions, could I fall in love with other animals?
Yeah, like, do you think you could learn to fall, like, be like, oh, you know what? Now that I'm, like, a dog or a cat, I can now, like, it's time for me to find a cat or dog or whatever animal you want to be. Goddamn giraffe.
Oh, okay, hold on. So, like, yeah, let's say I get turned into a cat.
Yeah.
You're asking if I can fall in love with another cat.
Yeah, because now that you're a cat, but you have all of your human experiences still in your head.
Because for whatever reason, in my head, I was going, like, thinking, like, any species of, like, if I was a cat, could I fall in love with a deer or a blue jay?
And that's not so different than, like, no, I don't know. Than a human be falling in love with a deer, if you think about it. No.
Yeah, I that's hard, actually.
I know, right?
I mean, could I fall in love with another animal of my type? Yes. But yeah, see there's so where's Tara in this equation, I guess, because
exactly.
Because like am I like, because like if I get turned into an animal and she doesn't, like I'm just gonna like chill in the backyard all the time.
The slightly lonely, yeah. But I get it. I get like the commitment.
Yeah. But like I guess to go where this question I think wants things to go. I think it's like the scenario, would you love me if I was a worm? It is like, yeah. So,
but like, but if you were a worm, could you love other worms? Is really what I want to know.
Yeah. So okay. So in this scenario, I'm like, Tara, would you love me if I was a worm? And she was like, no. What do you mean? Like, how are we supposed to like do anything together? Like, oh, like actually, there's a Northern Lion bit for this. Believe it or
No,
not.
of
Believe it or
course.
not. um, where he's basically like, yeah, my wife was just like, yeah, would you let me if I'm a worm? And he's just like, what do you mean, no? Like, he's like, oh, great, we're having dirt again for dinner. You're welcome, honey. um, but yeah, I think it would be possible to love another of whatever type of animal I've been turned into. However, the physical part is maybe a little too far. Maybe a little
Fair
too
enough.
far.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right. All right. That's I got what I wanted.
Oh, I mean,
What have you been playing? How are
oh,
you? How you doing?
wait. What was you can't just ask the question without answering.
Yeah. I mean, like, I would think I would have to learn. You know, I would have to like, cause like, you know, whatever humans. Can I even love humans? Who knows? Um, but yeah, I think I could probably eventually learn how to love what other animal that I've turned into. If I'm a capybara, yeah, I'll hang out with capybaras and maybe I can fall in love. And then me, I'm like, that capybara's got an orange on their head. That's pretty cute.
How do animals communicate? I guess we would learn as an animal.
Yeah. You would only be able to communicate with whatever animal like species that you were.
Okay, so if I got turned into a dung beetle, I could only communicate with other dung beetles.
Sure. Insect, but
Okay, so now you're so if I got turned into a lion, can I communicate with house cats? Because they're cats.
that's a wonderful question. That's a wonderful
Do all
question. I don't know if we
birds
have
do all birds speak the same bird?
Yeah. No, I don't. That's okay. We got to get off of this. What have you been playing? I can't handle it anymore. I started this and I've lost myself.
What did I play this last week? I played a little bit of Peak
Hmm.
with Tiana in the chat. We got some good clips.
Still peak. Love to see that.
Still peeking. Still a little bit of Fortnite. Played a little bit of the Sonic Crossworlds demo.
Mm-hmm.
The game is out for early access people now, and then people who buy it normally can play it, I think, tomorrow or today or Thursday or Friday. I don't know days anymore. The Rapture really messed me up.
Mm-hmm.
Are there even days anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, because you got raptured, but then you decided to come back, right? You're like, I got to do my show.
No, this is heaven, right?
Oh,
I think I'm doing it. Yeah, heaven has access to Wi-Fi.
Huh.
Yeah. Like,
it's wild. We haven't been able to talk to anyone else.
well, some people say they talk to Jesus.
You're so right. Some people do say that.
Yeah, so.
No, yeah, Tiana, we're raptured, and today's Rapture Day.
Yeah, today everyone's getting raptured.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not everybody.
The people who deserve to be raptured.
Those who deserve to be raptured are being raptured and taken from this this plane of existence from us to go off to a better place. I was gonna say things that I don't want to say on this show right now.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I play? I played some demos that I'll talk about on the show later. I did a run of Uma Musume, which I haven't in a while. Shit, I didn't even pack. What else did I play? I think that's about it that I can like really think of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you win your run of Unamusume?
I might not have finished it.
Huh.
Oh, or I either didn't finish it or I lost.
Okay.
I can't remember.
There's no way to find out.
My horse girl, though, I do remember feeling not confident about the run. I'm pretty sure I lost the run.
Okay.
Yeah. What'd you do?
I got to Act 3 in Hollow Knight, so I beat like the base game basically, in Silksong, I should say.
Silksong.
Because like there are in Act 2, when you beat Act 2 is like when the credits hit. But if you do a specific ending, it changes the entire world state, and then like that's all of Act 3.
Oh.
Which is really neat, and the game is way harder now. So I'm excited to try to break into that. I've tried to fight a couple bosses in Act 3, and I'm like, I had to put it down. I was like, I've been
Oh.
enjoying my time with it, but like it's getting harder. And like there's only a couple bosses in like Act 1 and 2 that took me more than like 30 minutes to beat. My my boy, the internet's boy Grohl, Dave Grohl,
Dave
is
Grohl's
one
in
of
this
them.
game.
Yeah, he's a big frog.
Hmm.
Fucking, it's a nightmare. His is more of a nightmare because the run back for him is a little bit of a nightmare. But I'm having a grand time with Hollow Knight. I got Act 3 is just there's more happening. Other than that, what I've been playing, nearing 100%ing my little calm down Picross game that I play when I want to
The
just
Hatsune
relax.
Miku one.
Yeah, Hatsune Miku Picross. So I have to buy a new Picross. I'm gonna pronounce it differently every time.
I really love Picross.
Picross. Oh yeah.
No, Picross is all right. Hey,
Picross.
maybe Nintendo will make a new one of those.
Maybe. It's so funny because like playing I was playing Picross and I forgot that Nintendo does this if you like sign up for it. Like when you buy a new game or play it for a while, they send you an email like, "Hey, do you want to do a survey?" And so I've done my survey for like, "Why'd you pick Picross?" I'm like, "I just wanted a Picross game. Why'd you pick this one?" It was like Hatsune Miku sold me. And they're like, "Heard you hear about it?" I'm like, I was just surfing through the store. So those are always silly surveys to do.
So we're getting a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they learned from your survey. They're like, then
I
we.
did learn about that company that makes the Picross games are like, it's super interesting because for every new one that they make, they'll like backport all like the new advancements they make, like the like quality of life stuff that they do for Picross games to all of their older ones.
Interesting.
So it's just like they keep like you can just buy any of them pretty much any time, and it still feels that fresh newness.
Yeah, that's cool. They're all always relevant. There's never a time where you're like, oh, I should just buy the new one.
Yeah, and so like it just feels really good like as a player, and like so like now my brain is just like I just have a whole bunch of Picross games I can play and zone out to.
Cool. Well, we've got some news to talk about today. We've got showcases, we've got demos we've played. And then we'll have a lot to talk about next week also with a showcase. Because tomorrow is a state of play. Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow.
So today, talking about the 6-1 Indie Showcase, which happened 5 days ago. I think it was last Thursday.
Yeah.
Sonic Racing Crossworlds released, or is in the process of releasing. You can play it if you like got the early access bundle. And the reviews are really good. So I asked a question, and there's still, Kirby Air Riders is coming out in 2 months. So I asked the question, can they all coexist at the same time?
Cars 2 and more. Kart 2.
K's demo roundup. You played some demos you're going to talk about. Some stuff from the 6-1 Indie Showcase. Actually, were they all from the Indie Showcase?
Alabaster Dawn, I don't think was.
I don't think so either. Maybe.
But we talked about that in the past too.
And then I'm just going to talk about some games that I've like kept track of that I found on Twitter, where usually it's like I see the tweets from like personal accounts basically of them like starting up this game and like their development, and then like Haste is one. It's not on this
Hmm.
list. But Haste was a game where I saw just a dude posting like his game development journey basically. Uh and then eventually those posts disappeared because he got so far into it and he probably got like a publisher. So they're like, you can't keep
Yeah,
we gotta
yeah. So
we gotta stop and then like do a proper like uh release of this. But these games kind of similar to that, just basically where like my sole exposure to these games are from Twitter. We're raptured now, like we've said multiple times, so we'll talk about our favorite apocalypse in games.
yeah,
Apocalypses,
Apocalypse,
apocalypse, yeah.
Apocalyptico
Yep.
at the
And
end.
uh-huh. And then yeah, we'll give some state of play predictions to end the show. Um
Hmm. Last minute pivot on our docket.
yeah, they announced it. So we can talk about it. Um I trust more when I hear like, hey, there's probably going to be a Nintendo Direct coming up because it has happened so often. When I hear like, hey, there's probably going to be a state of play, I'm a little more weary about it. But yeah, so anyway, first showcase. I enjoy how many showcases we get to just like show all kinds of stuff. So we had the 6-1 indie showcase.
Yeah.
Um
What I love about 6-1 Indie, just like in general, and this is like their second year doing this, is that they were just like fans of video games and like video game media content that decided that they were going to be like, hey, you know what? Like, I saw what you were doing with like highlighting indie games. Like, we want to make that our whole thing, our whole brand and whatnot. So, like, these are like for Chris, for your like perspective, like the people who started this are literally like kind of funny best friends from forever ago.
yeah. It's
16.
like, yeah, the whole story with how they started it is really nice and sweet and cool with like it's kind of like one of those things where it's just like we wanted to do it, so let's just go do it. And then it's fairly popular, and I swear to God, every one of these that happens is like it grows and grows and grows. Because this happens, these 6-1 indie showcases are like, it almost feels like quarterly. Like there's been a couple of these 6-1 indie showcases this year, I think.
Mhm.
Um and yeah, also it's not quite the same, but like you can see it from this video. It does have a little like Devolver strangeness to it. Also,
Yeah, I think like I honestly like if you're going to try to like do something like this and you're like a smaller company, you should be going for something weirder to just like make it more like recognizable or like more noticeable as opposed to like trying to make it like prim and polished, I think, just in general, because you're not gonna out polish the people with billions of dollars in their war chest.
I think especially just because it's indies.
Yeah,
Um
that too.
I think because you're gonna see a lot of like weird, unpolished, uh maybe not unpolished, but like you're just gonna see a lot less corporate looking presentations. So like your whole presentation can be kind of weird and out there because you're gonna see like weird out there ideas. Um One thing that I like that they did that I think it was Greg Miller pointed out during the kind of funny watch of this pre-show, this 10-minute pre-show, where they show off games, are all games that are available now to play.
Mhm.
Which that's cool because we see other like showcases do pre-shows, and it's just like, why isn't this just in the regular show? But here
Yeah.
it made sense to me, where it's just like, oh, these aren't in the regular show because the games in the regular show uh fit like this one bucket, whereas all these are like, games that have come out already, and we don't have anything new to talk about with them. But maybe you missed it, so here you go.
Yeah, and you get a like little highlight, especially with like how difficult it is to get like that marketing beat, right?
Yeah.
Just like throwing them in the pre-show and being like, "Hey, these are out
Yep.
now. They're weird. They're indie. They're cool. You should try them out."
And
Makes
it's
sense.
for anyone interested, the showcase as a whole, over just over an hour and 12 minutes, including the pre-show. And then this website, which will be linked in the description below on YouTube. Um, this shows I think all the games that they showed here. Some interviews with devs for the game. So like this website's really good if like you're actually interested in seeing everything the show has and whatnot. Ooh, December 18th, the Indie Game Awards presented by 6-1 Indie. Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's the first game you wanted to talk about here?
I might as well just go with like the one on the pre-show that really caught my eye. The girl from Arcania.
Damn.
Which literally it was just like I was just like I have to talk about it because it's just like a Legend of Zelda like with like action top-down game,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a capybara as your partner. And I love capybaras. So I was like, all right, I'm sold. I gotta get this
Capybara.
game.
Yeah.
Capybara.
It looks very
But it looked
nice.
very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It-
I love the I guess like maybe it's just like the genre of like these 2D top-down Zelda likes. Um it's just like this genre is very similar to like the Metroidvania genre, where it's just like uh it's hard to miss for like
mhm.
me, like there's usually like the core foundations of these genres are good enough for me, where seeing the extra things that like people pull off or the worlds that you put in is where you stand out and like what makes me happy. But
Well, like everything you just said is why my wish list is so bloated as like is it as it is. Um just like because I'm like, oh man, this looks interesting because it just has the bones that I like playing in a video game. And
yeah,
then but then at a certain point it also like it makes it hard to kind of stand out as like, oh, it's just like another like top-down Zelda clone that looks good. And I'm like, my brain is like, yeah, but this one has a capybara.
does have a capybara. Some of the
Um,
some of the things with this, it like the tone is
mhm,
like it's weird because there's like weird, like I'm seeing weird stuff in this trailer. Like that was a giant like
mhm,
crossbow looking scorpion monster. There is like some tech stuff in here. There's something about the world that feels like almost like a little more lighthearted than a
mhm.
Zelda for some reason. But still with these like really like weird crazy things going on that you typically don't see in like a Zelda game, like that super high techy thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's nice looking.
Mhm.
Do we?
Also neat, has local co-op.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, one person can be capybara.
Okay. What does the
So
capybara do? Do we know? I'm
I know that they you in narrative like normally in the game you can swap back and forth between capybara and main character. So like
mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm.
just like you don't have to do that. What can the capybara do? It must also be able to action adventure, you know?
Yeah, it's got some abilities, I'm sure. Um, yeah, so $20, you can buy it now.
Mhm.
You get the soundtrack for $5. Um,
Yeah. This is
yeah.
the studio's only game so far, so it looks good. It looks really good.
You see a lot of that now. There's a lot of
Mhm.
games that come out and you're like, wow, this looks good. What have they done? And that's it. That's all they've done. And also they did it too, which is also like how I feel like it's their first game. Is they're the developer is Arcania Games, and
Yeah.
the name of the game is The Girl from Arcania. And I wish I had examples, but I've seen that so many times where it's just like the developer name and the game share.
Bennett Foddy.
Huh?
Bennett Foddy
Maybe.
with Getting Over It.
Yeah.
Getting Over It
With Bennett
Bennett
Foddy.
Foddy production. I
Oh,
only know that because it was literally brought up today about how he puts his name in games so people will know to look for him.
did you know he was in a band?
I didn't.
He was the bassist for a semi-popular Australian band that had a few
Oh.
hits that like broke containment basically. Also, I learned since we talked about like those games last week, I've heard them referred to as Fodian. Fod,
I like it.
because they're like Bennett Foddy games. So they're Fodians. That
What? Yeah, so that's Girl from Akana.
yeah,
If you like Zelda likes and you want to get a new one, I suggest it. If I wasn't so bogged down by games, which I think we all kind of feel a little bit bogged down by games
constantly. Yeah.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not a lot of Zelda likes in this current moment, right? Like everything coming out is for the most part scratching a different itch, I would say.
Yeah, there's been some stuff that like for instance Moonlighter.
Mm-hmm.
Moonlighter 1 came out, and there are parts of it that are definitely like 2D Zelda like, but I don't feel like it was ever pitched that way. And then there's a second one coming out now.
October 23rd.
Yeah, dang. That's not far away.
Early access though.
Still. But yeah, I don't know. More 2D Zelda likes. That's fine with me. What else we got here?
We got Blippo Plus,
Where is
which just launched today.
where oh my gosh. Where is Blippo? Is Blippo Plus on this list?
Yeah, that's right. It's right under the Girl in Makana.
Don't lie
On the
to
docket
me.
at least.
No. On their website.
On the website. Oh, I can't see the website. You're the one. You're hiding it from us, from everyone.
I don't think it's there. Hold on. Let me go. All right. Well, anyway, talk about Blippo Plus. Released today.
Yeah, Blippo.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Blippo is a FMV game, and we're kind of in a renaissance of these FMV games right now, I think. And it's basically simulating like flipping through a TV in like the 90s. But like, what if every like TV show somehow connected to an over narrative that was up for you to figure out? Like every station on the television is being sent to you from like a different planet Blip, and like you can kind of piece together the world and stuff like that through watching these different shows. Like this public asset
Access?
stuff. Access. I can't speak right now. Also the word's just hard, man, with my inability to say S's. It looks so fun. It looks so neat and silly, and like it is something that just speaks to me because I love the weirdness of modern day indie games. And who doesn't feel nostalgia about flipping through an old TV and seeing a bunch of nonsense?
Probably like Zoomers. Yeah, they didn't
young people.
They didn't get this, but yeah, it's very like the idea, at least to me, is very similar to like a Hypnospace Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
Where like Hypnospace Outlaw is like, hey, remember this weird time on the internet and how it looked and acted, and now we made a game for it. And Blippo TV is like, hey, remember when TVs were like this? Here's a game, and there's like weird stuff happening. Dinner Mentor, yeah. I miss just turning on the TV and it just being TV. That's the thing that like I think Netflix, that like services have tried to replicate that, where it's just like, yeah, show me whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, no, not this. And then it's just like shows you another whatever thing. And you're like, no, not this. Um, and it tries to get that sense of flipping channels. It's not good.
If you look down on the Steam page, you can see that you can in a bundle buy Blippo Plus and Hypnospace Outlaw together.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that.
I mentioned it and there it was.
There it was. Also Kentucky Route Beer, which is a crazy game.
Yeah. Hold on, let's look at like what else these get. Oh, Hurdling is also by these publishers. Cool.
Firewatch.
The publisher is like fairly good. What is up with like the 3 developers? Let's see.
I'm imagining they have like developers for like the game stuff and also for like the TV production stuff. When you look at like the individual developers, most of them don't have any other stuff off of their
yeah. Let's see. All right, so Noble Robot Blippo, they made a game called Widget Satchel, which, you know, looks all right. Came out 6 years ago. Get widgets, build doohickeys. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this one's cool. This is like the weird kind of stuff that like I would expect from the 6-1 Indie Showcase. Like at the top when we were talking about how like their presentation is kind of like weird and out there. Like this is the kind of stuff that I expect to see when like the host is like a pigeon and or like a skeleton wearing a pigeon mask in a bathtub. I expect to see games like Blippo Plus. It's also very reminiscent. People mentioned it like in Rick and Morty. I forget what it's called now. I'm literally wearing a Rick and Morty shirt. It's like the intergalactic television channel. Like this is kind of similar to that for like some people. When is this out? This is at September 23rd. That's today.
Yeah, that's today. It's just out today. I've been like keeping an eye on the reviews for it, like on Steam and seeing what people are like it. I saw there's a review website I've been really digging called Endless Mode, and they did a write up for it today that I thought was neat. So I might get this game. I might check it out.
All right.
It did come out at the worst time possible for me.
The Rapture, yeah.
The Rapture.
Yeah, during the Rapture. I know. It's hard for all of us. You also had, let's see, Mr. Sleepy Man, I know is on there. Pigeon Love Story.
Sleepy Man I have in the demo roundup, but it also was on the showcase.
Oh, you're right.
You should do yourself a service. And we'll get to Mr. Sleepy Man for the real pitch for Sleepy Man.
We'll get to the Sleepy Man pitch in a moment. But Blippo. All right, so we'll go to Pigeon, a Love Story next.
Yeah, this just looks like it doesn't look like the deepest game of all time, but it looked very calming and very like relaxing, and I think I might just get it to like zone out. And it's just like you play as a little pigeon and this like atmospheric music is playing and you just are searching for the pigeon that you're in love with, who's somewhere in this giant flock of pigeons. And you get to hear like what they say and whatnot. It just looks very calming. I don't know.
You're also a bird person. So
I am a bird person. I love birds. I love birds.
This makes sense as a bird person. This isn't what this is at all, but this reminds me with like all the birds and seeing like what they're saying or their thoughts and whatnot. We went to it might have been I don't think it was Mopop. We went to some sort of like art museum exhibit thing, interactive. Definitely wasn't Mopop, but it's like an interactive art museum. You walk around, you can touch stuff, they react to you. there's lights, and it's very usually kind of like weird and trippy and stuff going on. And there's one room where you can stand under like this dome kind of. There's different ones. There's bubbles, and they're just recordings of people just like telling secrets. um and for whatever reason, like just like flying around with all the birds just like saying stuff reminded me of that for some reason. Hopscotch, that's the name of the place. It just reminded me of that, where it's just like there's just like all this other stuff going on, and there's all, I don't know, all these secrets being told.
It also says there's multiplayer co-op, where you can try to find each other in the big city, or like you can like help each other out and whatnot. There's also passive mode, which honestly, you know, I got wallpaper engine my money way back when, but like if I just let this play and hear Zen music and a bird flying through a digital sky, maybe that's all I need in my life.
And this is out Q1 next year.
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight this game because again, it's just like the difference of like how many types of games exist, and how it's like there are these Zen games to just like relaxing.
But yeah, it's just like
whatnot.
It's just like you can have such a simple idea of just like just find each other. And then like, yeah, now it's this like Zen flying around bird. Like the colors are very, very like I don't want to say monochromatic, but it's a fairly flat game, which helps with the like calmness, I think. Yeah, I don't know. It's a K game. You're a bird person.
It's me.
What else is on the list? You had a few more games on here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Like, boop. And
Desktop Explorer, and there's also City of Dolorosa.
Let's hit the Desktop Explorer next.
And we'll end where the show ends.
Exactly. So Desktop Explorer. Again, this is like, it's not quite, but I can see people making the same argument here as like a Hypnospace Outlaw, where it's like looking at it, the main attraction is like kind of like preying on that like nostalgia of like how a computer used to be. But there's like, I don't know, this is for some reason the way that this works doesn't quite fit like a Hypnospace to me, just because of like there's other weird stuff going on here. I don't know, with like the way the story's told and unravels, and like,
yeah, it's like it seems to have, I mean, like now we're at that era where my brain just wants to call like these investigative, there's more than meets the eye games Inscription like Daniel Mullins like
a mullion,
but like, yeah, you the millennium type of game theory, where yeah, you just like you are going through a desktop that's not your own, you're playing a bunch of different mini games and different like stuff that's on the computer to try to piece together and like a mystery of whose computer was this, what happened, what's going on. And then like there's a lot of like, it shows you some like file manipulation stuff and some glitchy stuff, and I'm like, I'm so interested. Like I like this like kind of current trend of games where like it's like here's an item and then it's like find out the narrative yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. And like there is, so maybe I'm being drawn back into Hypnospace Outlaw, but I guess there is a sense of like, because Hypnospace Outlaw is also a like detective game, basically, I guess I'd say. And yeah, both of them are just like very much like, here's how this used to look and here's how it used to work for the most part. There's also there's like some games coming out that are uh like basically played on a desktop. And it's
Hmm.
about like moving windows around and resizing and bringing up other windows and stuff like that. Um, and it's like not something that I'd like really thought about before, but it's sort of like inventory management with like your window
Yeah.
management is like a neat
Hmm.
idea. Um, and there's something like kind of satisfying about like setting up your windows nicely. You know, like dragging stuff around and setting up your windows in like ways that work really well for you. Um, so yeah, this game also seems pretty cool, pretty weird, which is the theme of a lot of this showcase. But like just going through these screens also, you see like so many weird different types of windows that you have open. Like this is a game on this
Hmm.
one, Tower.
Yeah.
I don't know. And just
Yeah,
thinking,
like it has like its own 3D like little like move like platformer kind of thing going on that you can play that will have more to the mystery.
mhm,
It says there's like classic PC games. It looks like I saw Minesweeper briefly.
you would,
Shout out to the goat.
you would.
Um and like just like how they all tie in and how they all like feed you into like what's happening.
What the mystery is.
It's just very satisfying to brain to go like, ooh, maybe if I play old skiing down mountain game, I'll learn secret or something like that. Like I like it.
I
It's neat. It's neat.
I think another part of it with like this taking place like on a desktop like this is like the immersion it gives you of
Hmm.
like you're not actually playing the game, you're just on your desktop doing this stuff, like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
you play this in full screen, and then like it just looks like that's just what's happening. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. So I yeah, it's a very cool concept, cool idea. uh and this one's out quarter 2 of
Mm.
2016.
It's coming out during your maybe I'll be able to breathe again.
Yeah, I can breathe fine, get over it. Although again, something that we have to discuss is all these release dates happened or like were announced like before the Rapture.
Yeah.
So
And so like what's gonna happen now?
so
Yeah.
that's a big topic that we probably should talk about, is just like how the Rapture is going to affect all these games release dates.
Hmm.
Last
Well,
one.
luckily, the next game on our list is about what happens when you die.
Okay, so this is what
So,
is expected.
mhm.
uh
If it is a reverse rapture, you know.
no such thing as a reverse Rapture. Put my foot down. It's either a Rapture or it's no Rapture. uh this game, the art style for it, there are parts of it with like the characters and whatnot, and the way that they're shaded and colored looks very uh like classic American tattoo art style.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah.
so that's interesting.
Yeah, it's like you just asked a tattoo artist to like design your characters in your games. It's really neat. Um, Honestly, the part I'm the most excited for is that it seems like it's Paradise Killer. It seems so
Oh,
Paradise Killer coded, which is one of my favorite games of all time. It is about like you walking around, interacting with people, and then you like it all cultivates in like a trial, where you either have to uh like prove I don't know like it doesn't fully say what the trial's about, but it says that your trial for the ultimate sin begins.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, and again, mystery, it's a fun hook style. Like he's gonna get me going, talking to all these weird characters, and then the just incredible art style.
It
The
the polar opposite of that, the Pigeon Love story for the
mhm.
art style, where this is
Oh yeah,
very
it's just cool.
bright and messy and like, yeah, not at all what is it, soothing. um you're not falling asleep to this art style, you know.
You might have crazy dreams.
Get some nightmares from this guy. Okay, so yeah, so Paradise Killer like esque, where like
Yeah,
it's
it's like a visual novel with a trial at the end, I think.
where, yeah, a visual novel where you're like actively walking around
Mhm.
and like looking for clues or story beats or whatnot. Meet the five great powers and uncover all the secrets that lie within De La Rosa, the cruelest city in hell. Um, yeah,
Cool,
cool,
cool.
cool. Last that was
It's a Spanish team because I can see that the only languages are English, Spanish, and Catalan. So it's a Spanish team.
oh yeah.
Uh, which is cool.
Let's see what if they've made anything else published and developed by them. Nope. First game.
Nope. First game.
This
Back on like the first game kick.
Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, there's actually I don't know if it already happened or if it is happening, but there is a I think like a Latin American games showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
There was
as
one
well,
around Game Award. I mean, game show like a Games Fest.
there's
That I did.
there's some other ones coming up, some other ones that are basically just like other speaking countries showcases. Hold on, let me see if I can see that real quick before we end this and talk about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I would also say like if any of this has interested you, this showcase, the 6-1 Indie Showcase, had about 40 games, I think, big and small, and varying sizes of like how much spotlight they got and when they're coming out and whatnot. But it was really cool, really fascinating. I thought it was a really good, like a really well paced showcase. And you might find your next favorite game, or whatever kind of thing they say.
The showcase that I saw, it was a like Southeast Asia RPG maker showcase. So
Oh, neat.
yeah.
Neat.
Also, I saw this showcase coming up. Are you excited for the Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival showcase?
Oh, let me. So here's the thing. I play a couple visual novels.
Uh-huh.
If you, I put "fall in love" visual in the Google, and it said, and then it autocorrected to "men fall in love" visual.
Sure.
I don't know, do they? We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
I'll look into this. I'll give it a try.
Yeah, it's in
There's only
3 days away. It's the Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival showcase. I gotta try this again. It's a lot of words to say. It's the Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival showcase. That's too much. There's too much there.
Yeah. But like maybe that's like it's speaking towards like it's like the genre, right? Every visual novel has very big unwieldy titles, so it's fitting in with what it's trying to go for.
The Fall in Love Visual Novel Festival showcase will feature 20 different romance-filled game trailers from the Steam sale. So there we go. That's for you. I don't know why.
The title is a GL novel, so we're getting closer to maybe I will play it.
Is a what?
GL, Girls Love.
Okay.
You're like, I'm moving on.
You want to know what else girls love? It's Sonic the Hedgehog, kart racing,
Whoa,
Sonic Cross Worlds. Sonic Cross Worlds has released. Also, speaking of, first of all,
the only girl Sonic that loves Sonic is Princess Elise. Am I right?
No. There's an image that popped up on the internet about a certain person making a announcement about autism. I don't know if you saw this image. There's an image of two.
This is the one I was shocked.
No, no. It's a real image from the news, and it's a picture of Donald Trump at RFK, and next to it says autism announcement.
Oh yes.
But I've seen people replacing the faces in it, and the one that got me was they just replaced it with like Dr. Robotnik. Just says autism announcement, and I was like, because Sonic the Hedgehog and autism are linked. So I thought that was funny. But Sonic Crossing, nope. Sonic,
you got it. You can do it.
Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is out for early access havers. And it's out globally, in 2 days for everyone else. The reviews are generally favorable. It's got an average of an 83. Some people, let's see some of the good reviews. Sets itself apart from other kart racers with its speed and gameplay, amount of customization, brilliant soundtrack, and great cast of characters. Fantastic racing game. It's tough to say if it's better or worse than Mario Kart World because both games are completely different experiences and will appeal to different types of players, which kind of goes with like what we'll talk about here. Delivering fun and unpredictable chaos, rivals the best games in the category, fine balance between fun and challenging. A lot of good words about this Sonic racing game. So I'm very excited that this game is being received so well, and seemingly will continue to hopefully inject more life into it as it releases these DLC characters. Some free, some paid. The first free one, I believe, is in the game already, and it's Hatsune Miku. Because Sega and Miku they got a thing together, so of course Miku would wind up in the Sonic game. And then I think next month we get Ichiban from
my boy, my beautiful boy Ichiban.
Yeah, from the Yakuza games. After that, I don't believe there's any certain like order or announcements for dates. But we'll get like SpongeBob, the Ninja Turtles, Avatar: The Last Joker, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and
Pac-Man, Mega Man.
Pac-Man, and Mega Man isn't officially announced, but like I'm fairly certain it's like the game.
We're seeing Rockman.
When you buy the game and open the case, it has an advertisement for DLC, which includes Mega Man in it. So I'm assuming Mega Man is going to be in this. So similar to Smash, it's going to be fun and wild to see Sonic, Pac-Man, Mega Man, and Joker all racing next to each other. And then Mario's going to be on their own TV. But one of those reviews said how it sets itself apart because it's going to draw in a different audience. Later this year, 2 months, we're also getting Kirby Air Riders. And I think that game is easier to make that argument of yes, it's a kart racer, but it like inherently sets itself apart with its like city trials, which is the main draw. So like with those 3 games, how do they all stay like competitive with each other? Can they? Will they?
Yeah, and that's like so like that's a really like it depends on capitalism. But like Nintendo has made DLC for like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe got a lot of DLC despite already being a game with DLC in it. So it's like, are they going to double down and do it with World? I really thought we would have had some sort of announcement by now of like at least like something simple like DK and Pauline's kids. Because Bonanza came out. So like you think that they would have done something to keep like the momentum going on it leading up, especially leading up towards like a release of like a competitor. But Nintendo and its hubris might just not care.
Well, I
Might not
mean,
just see Sonic as a villain anymore.
I mean,
A word.
I don't know if you saw this, but so like, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds released its like launch trailer, which was like it's a direct shot at Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's like an old style.
It's a
with the blast processor.
Yeah, it's a very old like it's like a remake of an old commercial basically. But it directly takes a shot at Mario Kart basically. And then like the next day or 2 days later, Nintendo tweeted out, was like, "Hey, come play Sonic games on our system." So it's just like this funny like difference where like, yeah, Sega was very much going for that old school system wars kind of like Sega does what Nintendo don't feel. And then Nintendo's just like, we're doing our own thing. Whatever. Pay us money to play that game here.
Yeah, because like they're still winning because you still get part of the cut, even if they're like, but they care. I would imagine if I were Nintendo, I'd care a little bit. But at the same time, Nintendo knows that Mario is the brand that he is, and that people are going to buy Mario Kart World and have bought it already, regardless. So
yeah,
how much incentive do they have to keep on like fighting when they've already made millions of dollars off of it? And then and then I was gonna say, like, an Air Riders is just like, it just feels different. It's just a different type of thing. And it's gonna come out, and people, I really think when it comes out, people are gonna be like, well, it's not really a kart racer. Like, it is and it isn't.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's gonna have just a completely different fan base, I think.
Yeah, I think Kirby Air Riders, out of those three, is the one that can stick around as like a 1A, 1B. I think it's hard when you go 1A, 1B, 1C. It's weird that Nintendo hasn't done anything with Mario Kart since its release. We haven't heard anything. Maybe it's like, it could very much well be just Nintendo does its own thing anyway. They don't really pay too much attention to what everyone else is doing. And I think part of that is because they're so confident in themselves. So it's so weird to see the Donkey Kong DLC before Sonic Racing. I mean, before Mario Kart DLC. But maybe there was a part of Nintendo that's like, let's wait for Sonic Racing Crossworlds to come out and do its own thing, and we can wait for Kirby Air Riders, which is another thing we're doing, and then we'll build our momentum back. People will come back. They came back from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They came back from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's DLC. They'll come back.
Yeah, that's a great point. Is it like Mario Kart does get the luxury of like, it could release DLC at any time and people will go back to it, I think. Whereas like a lot of other video games don't have that luxury, where like the amount of times I've thought in my life where I'm like, oh man, that game's getting DLC, I'd love to play that, and I just like don't have like the willpower to go back to it because I'm doing other stuff. But with Mario Kart, it's way easier for my brain to be like, yeah, I can just hop in and do a Grand Prix or two.
Yeah.
And check out what's new.
Yeah, so that's where I think there is that cross between Mario Kart and Sonic Racing Crossroads, though. It's kind of like, which one, like there, the article, that thing said, it was like, that review was like, it's going to have a different audience because it's speed and this and that and whatever. Sure, but there's going to be a lot of cross, love
Worlds.
Cross Worlds for the kart racing genre as a whole. And I think a lot of those people are going to like choose one or the other. And like it's up to Sega to be like, you're choosing ours instead. And I think one of the things that it does is its speed. And its focus on it, like its online play. Mario Kart had like a really like kind of weird reaction around its like online racing, because people don't like the like interlude courses.
Yeah, that's like, at least that's like a constant thing that they feel like they have to do.
Yeah, and so like, you know, there was this weird thing where you'd go online and you could vote on what the lobby is playing. And it'll give you a couple options or random. And everyone just chose random because they were guaranteed to get a 3-lap classic course. And then Nintendo changed it. They patched that out. So like you're not guaranteed to go there. So like there's this like weird feeling in their like racing community where it's just like they don't even want to like interact with like a large portion of what Nintendo is trying to give them with like its interlude courses. Whereas like Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, they don't have that problem. Any problem they have is a more classic, this track is bad, so we don't vote for it. It's not like, I don't like these type of courses, but this is my only option. Because Crossworlds has the same thing where it's like everyone votes on, I think 3 tracks or random. And then I guess the other part of that is the Crossworlds in the tracks, which is another like course option where if people don't want to race on certain Crossworlds, whoever's leading, like it's one of those things that the community control. The community can control not playing on a specific track in Crossworlds, whereas the community in Mario Kart has a much harder time of not playing a certain type of track rather than just like a track. And I think that's something that's just going to draw people to Sonic Racing.
And it's always possible that like in the most optimistic point of view, like Nintendo didn't come out with DLC because they're like, oh, maybe we'll have to like rethink about like how we've done things. That being said, it does feel very unlike Nintendo to ever like look back and be like, hey, we messed up. Or like we like did something that like they feel like a company that I don't know if they've ever really bent their vision.
No, yeah, they're very much a company that's just like, this is our vision. Like it. Like we're just gonna keep pushing our vision of this because we know better than you, and this is our vision, and this is what's best.
Yeah. And you know, like best case 40 years later, they release a virtual console, a Virtual Boy, again. But yeah, no, I mean, like, so like everything I've watched from Sonic like Crossworld, it seems so good. And it like again, like you've talked about a lot in the show in the past about like player expression and like what you can do within the terms of a game in order to like feel good playing it and compete. Like high level Sonic Racing rules. It's really fun to watch. You pulled up our guy, thank you Domo, twitch.tv/thank you Domo, and the snaking and like the way that they're boosting and stuff like this, it feels like there's such a satisfying high ceiling to this game.
I think specifically watching Domo play, I've learned that there are like you were saying, like there's different like ways to express yourself and how you play with characters, the type of machine you're driving, and then all the gadgets specifically. And Domo makes it look very fun with like the gadgets he chooses, with like being able to snake and get these boosts and snake and boost, you know. But that's not the only way to play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've heard people, you know, you can, cause yeah, you can make different builds in this, where you can have like a build for like bumping into other people. And that's not like a huge thing. Or I guess like one of the main differences between characters in this game compared to the last game, or to Mario Kart, is like every Mario Kart kind of like settles on like, here's the best like combination of character and kart. And it could get there. It could get there with Sonic Race and Crossworlds, but from like what I can see, I guess one, even if there was like a thing that was just better, where it's just like the extreme gear, that's the best to use or whatever, like at least you can make it all look different and put a different character on it, so that
it just feels like way more individual.
Yeah,
you have more individuality, it feels like, in the game. And that's always going to be like a win for like the player. It's like to feel like you're like, oh, I can do this my way and I can feel good while doing it, or I can at least look like how I want to look.
Yeah, exactly. Because like so many people, like it happened, you know, it's happened in like Smash Brothers. It happens in any game where there's like this large cast of characters, where people like go in and they're like, I'm gonna main this character because they're my favorite character of all time, and then they just don't play the way that you want them to play. But in this game, you can play as Big the Cat and put him in any type of machine, and Big the Cat does have different stats than Sonic, but the differences that characters make on your machine are so small, so like the stat differences like barely change, so it just like makes it way easier to just like play the character you want. And then my last point on that is, you mentioned like as a player it makes it easier to just like play who you want and feel good that like you get to be the character that you want to be and look how you want. But even as just like you know, just like the marketing of the game, if you watch like, you know, for people in like the esports scenes, for people who watch like top level Mario Kart, you know, there was that very long period of time where it was just everybody on the track was Waluigi and on a Wiggler, right? And that looks boring to look at. Where in this game, if everyone's on extreme gear, at least everyone can be a different character and it's less boring to look at. So it just like visually looks like there's less of an issue at like high levels. Yeah, so the crux of my question here for can the games coexist comes down to not necessarily just like the quality of the two games or the type of players that are going to be playing the different games, but is there enough of a player base for Mario Kart and Crossworlds to both be big? Because like for me personally, I don't think I'll be like actively playing both. It's going to be like I'm actively playing Sonic Racing, and then if I go back to Mario Kart, it's just to like relook at it. And then if I like Mario Kart more, I'm just playing Mario Kart. I'm not playing both for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it like that's what's so hard. It's like coexisting. It's like going back and forth, and I feel like a lot of people, yeah, aren't necessarily going to go back and forth. They might like try like parse into the other one, like you said. But like, I really do think that this comes down to just like, um, I think specifically these two games can coexist just because of these two franchises have such big followings. Um, themselves. There are Mario people and there are Sonic people, and that's the two types of people in the world. And like they're gonna typically kind of gravitate to their own thing more because I'm trying to think about like in a different example of like I mean like I guess like against my my argument is that like Call of Duty and a Battlefield haven't really coexisted in a long time, and like Fortnite and PUBG definitely didn't coexist. So is there a good? I mean, Tekken and Street Fighter coexist, right? So like, how big are the kart racing community? I think is really what it comes down
Yeah,
to. Is like how many people are like want to play kart racers at a high level, and then also or at a casual level, because that's where you're going to get your player bases from the casual level. Then you're going to get your exciting stuff from like the higher ceiling stuff. So
so that was my main thing because like of course like it's not like there's only one game in every multiplayer genre, right? Like Counter-Strike and Valorant both exist. But like if you look at the player bases for those games for like the first person shooter genre versus the kart racing genre, like the first person shooter like it multiplies the kart racing um like genre. So like and then also when you think of the kart racing genre, it's Mario Kart. Mario Kart's like the player base where
yeah, I was gonna be pedantic for a little bit, could being like, well, Mario Kart 8 sales are like over 76 million. So like, I don't really think it's that like multiplicative.
I, I think what
Towards like the shooter genre, but I'm just being.
I think one of the differences there though is uh retention
Yeah, that's a great point.
of those like
Mhm.
uh of those genres. Like people stick to Counter-Strike and Valorant and Call of Duty, whereas like all those people who bought Mario Kart, not everyone sticks to it like they do those other games.
Yeah, and that could be just part of the genre itself, like in racing games, I guess, like just having a lower like not as big of a need to like, or maybe not as satisfying as a competitive scene, right? Um, like it's tough to parse because like okay, you think about like I like fighting game communities are way bigger than like their player base like should have, right? There's a lot of more people playing competitive fighting games um at a high level than like the number amount of people that play fighting like comparatively. Do you get like there's a higher percentage, I mean. Whereas like every other genre has way more of a casual base than they do percentage wise a competitive base. Let me formulate this thought in a way that makes more sense.
Yeah,
If you don't,
English. The Rapture.
yeah,
No, I get it. It's the
the
Raptures
Rapture's happening.
really hit us all hard. It's hard to talk in times like this.
Mm-hmm. I just basically what I'm coming down to is the fact that like kart racers in general, like people are here for a quick fun time 90% of the time. That's just like how most people interact with kart racers. They like, and historically they come in, they play with a weekend with their friends, they maybe dabble a little bit by themselves, and then they only play when they have like a house party or a hookup with their friends online. And like that's I would say a normal person's like relationship with a kart race or even a racing game. um so I think I think both games can coexist because like you're just gonna be going on and off like that, and it's just gonna come down to like which one you feel like in the moment. If they do truly feel different, if you people can afford to spend the money on both of them. Sonic, unfortunately, like while being cheaper, did come out second, so maybe people aren't going to be like really craving one, even though if it is like statistically better. But like it's tough. It's tough. Mario's just Mario. I'm talking in circles here, but like
So to close it out, I guess
yeah.
I think you nailed it earlier a little while ago, where you basically said like, I guess I'm changing up a little bit, but it's not so much kart racing. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be Mario and Sonic. Mario's going to have a fan base. Mario Kart's going to sell because of the Mario fan base. Sonic Racing is going to sell because of the Sonic fan base. Like, there's just people that are going to buy and play Sonic Racing Crossworlds because it's Sonic. Just like there were people who are going to buy Mario Kart World because it's Mario. And outside of the genre, those characters just have big enough fan bases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because like I can't like I really it's just hard to like pinpoint like what is a kart racing enthusiast outside of like some of our friends.
Yeah.
Like which is such a small percentile I think of the community that wants to try and play every kart racer. So I really yeah, Sonic fans are gonna play Sonic, Mario fans are gonna play Mario. Maybe some Mario fans will check out Sonic because you know they see Sonic and Smash.
Yes.
They're like, let me try it.
Yeah. And then the very, very last thing that I think makes it so that these coexist is that Mario Kart's only on the Switch 2. So it's you know, respectively large player base is limited to Switch 2, whereas this can be played anywhere.
Be on PC, and and there's gonna be a modding community. Maybe you can play as some crazy characters.
You already can.
Naked Sonic.
In the what?
That's a naked Sonic.
Yeah, no, okay. I thought so. Yeah,
if you got turned into a hedgehog, would you be able to fall in love with a hedgehog?
Yes.
To bring it back to the beginning.
As long as they're pink. I've completely lost. So we're gonna end it. We're gonna end it there. That was
perfect.
That was the end of that topic. Jesus, I don't even remember what's next now. You played games,
Mr.
maybe?
Sleepy Man. Mr. Sleepy Man.
There we go. So next up, okay.
Are you gonna play the trailer with audio again? I don't know. You might maybe have to play the trailer with audio.
I'll play the trailer with audio again. So you played some games.
Yeah, I played some demos.
This
week. This is the gosh darn year of the demo, and I was telling my friend this, and they're like, "Is it the year of the demo, or have you just been playing more demos?" And I think it's the second one. But I do say that I think like demos are on the uptick. Like more games are having demos than ever before. We went through like a large period of our lives, you and I, where like you got demo discs that had a collection of nonsense on it, and then that stopped happening. And then the digital era didn't have demos. I think the last like 5 years, demos have been really getting popular again.
Yep.
And I love trying me a demo. There's a lot of cool things. I demoed 3 games this past weekend, and I'm here to talk to you about them.
Yeah, so the first one is Mr. Sleepy Man, and
Mr. Sleepy Man.
I 100% agree. Where like demos are back. Demos are hot again. We've been talking about them. Week in and week out, we talk about demos we've played, and there are so many showcases now. And for a little while, these type of demos were like secluded to just going to in-person events. But now everyone who has a demo at PAX puts it on Steam to play. And that's why they're back. So hold on. I'm trying to get this video. Where did you post it before?
No, I think you just pulled it up before.
Did I?
Yeah, you pulled it up before. The only thing I posted was Diddy Kong saying "bitches galore."
Oh yeah. Okay, then I probably just got it from here. Was it just on the Steam
Probably.
page? Hold on.
Earlier in the pre-show, you got it from YouTube, but we can watch the Steam page. I think the Steam page has the theme song too. So,
All right, we'll talk about Mr. Sleepy Man before I bring this up.
Mr. Sleepy Man. Mr. Sleepy Man is a third-person platformer in the same vein as like a Mario 64. It has collectathon features in the same way of like a Banjo-Kazooie, but it's also sandbox. You got to go around. You have loose goals, similar to like Goose Game, where like the goals are like things like commit a felony. So you have to figure out what that means. What is the felony? What do you have to do do that? You play as a sleepy guy, and there's a like this trailer opens up with a very scary guy, very scary man. He's just like, oh, Miss Sleepy Man. He's like, you go back to sleep. Come on now, go back to sleep. And you just start walking around while you're asleep, and he gets like concerned for you, and then you escape into this like weird kind of dreamlike nightmare-y escape.
Yeah, it is a very
Mhm.
like retro style 3D platformer, like you said, like a Mario 64. With or like a Dreamcast era, because they mention Dreamcast in here. With like some newer, or I guess newer in my mind, like mechanics, like like you definitely nailed it with like the Entitled Goose Game thing, where it's like you have loose objectives. A large part of this game is just like running amok.
Yeah,
Right.
and causing a little chaos
Yeah.
while like the music is happening.
Yeah. But here's the trailer with the theme song for Mr. Sleepy Man, which hooked most people. Here we go. We'll watch it. No, we won't. It's muted. Now we will.
Mr. Sleepy Man sleeps all day and night. Mr. Sleepy Man dreams of a better life. But things happen differently. If he was working hard rather than sleeping, he's lacking some energy, but it's mostly because he's meaner. Mr. Sleepy Man sleeps all day and night. Mr. Sleepy Man, get out of bed, sleeping all day until PM. Ain't tired of playing in the past, fella got a scheme with a dream to cast. Cash is sheep, you don't see him coming, cause he's a real mean green slipping demon doublet. I ain't bluffing, you can't cuff him, he got a boogie in his nose, but you still love him. Mr. Sleepy Man sleeps all day and night.
Yeah.
Mr. Sleepy Man.
Mr. Sleepy Man. So that's that game.
That's Mr. Sleepy Man.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, real quick, Devin Santi, the single-person developer of this video game, is a musician. And then what I learned about him was that he was like doing the music thing, and then he was like, you know what? I also just really want to make a video game. So he made this game, and he composed all the music for it. It's a fun little time demo where like you just go in and it gives you like 20 minutes or whatever to just run around the world. It's not like very long, but it's enough to get like the gist of like what you're kind of doing and aim for. And then there is a special mode that you can play that's like it's more like a visual showcase where you play as a character, and you like there are music notes that you are like rhythm game like trying to collect, whether or not you're like falling and doing the classic like falling and trying to like line up where you are with like the music notes, or if you're like it's very cool. It's very surrealist, going in between 3D and 2D seamlessly while like a different song is playing. it really sold me on like just like the concept and like this guy's vision.
There's something about it that almost like reminds me or feels like if like the people who made like Katamari Damacy decided to make a platformer. Just with like the way it looks and the world reacts and the visuals, there's something about it that just like something similar to Katamari to this. Yeah, so you played 3 games, all have demos. After this, I'm going to talk about 4 games also that all have demos. So again, demos are in.
Demos are in right now.
Demos are in. In this game, it looked like at one point there were potentially some sort of collectibles.
Yeah, so it does seem like you have like little collectibles that allow you to go through like different TVs and whatnot, like very Banjo like. It also has like one of the things that they talk about is that the NPCs all like have their own individual like kind of like reaction mapping. So like one NPC might respond differently to you throwing a certain item than another one, which is just like cool and neat, little independent logic. In the demo that I got to play, I did end up trying to steal the car, and it was very fun to see like everyone freak out and then try to like attack me, trying to like while I was stealing their keys. But yeah, it is very much like if like Banjo meet Goose Game a little bit.
Okay. That seems great. That seems fun. I think that like almost like a Goose Game formula of like causing hijinks but figuring out exactly what it is you're trying to, or like how to do it. Like you have the goal, but you have to figure out the steps to it. Is like a fun like mental puzzle that like could like apply to a lot of games. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's fun, Mr. Sleepy Man.
And it feels good to play. Like that's the other thing. It's like it doesn't feel like inherently cheap, like as like a platformer. Sleepy Man himself feels easy to control. You have your classic. You have your little blankie, which you use as a glider, your Breath of the Wild era glider. You have your like your double jump, your like slide jump. It just feels good. It feels fun to move around and be a menace.
I do think that's such an important piece because like the concept of the game, the look, the song are all unique and hitting. And I think that draws people in to it. But yeah, I think being a platformer, the actual platforming and moving is the fun part that I think is gonna like resonate with like, that's what's gonna help make everything else like come together and actually be fun.
Yeah, because like, what is a platformer if moving isn't fun?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's Mega Man. That's why he shoots.
Wow.
That's why Mega Man shoots, because doesn't feel good to jump.
Wow. Shots at Mega Man. That's where's Mega Man? Anyway. Where is Mega Man? Next up, you played let's talk about Lucid.
Yeah. Lucid, I don't know why I put the demo trailer on here instead of just a Steam page on here, but Lucid is a self-reportedly first of their kind Celestovania.
Celestovania, yeah, I just showed that on screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it feels like it. I played about this for like an hour-ish, maybe a little less. The demo was definitely probably not an hour. I'm just like exaggerating time. But it is a very like movement based, a lot of like what you expect. You jump, you have to slash in order to get your jump back, so that you want to like try to line up your dashes and your sword slashes so that you can keep forward momentum, but also keep the ability to get your double jumps back. very high octane platforming in the same way that you would expect from a Celeste. It just also happens to have a bunch of attacks, a bunch of techniques that you use. There's boss battles. You get to fight one in the trailer. I mean, in the demo. The music is pretty darn good. The story seems to be, it's a story. It's like
It's a story. Okay, it's there.
A story. It's there. You play as like a little sentinel guy who's like just starting his like he's like his coming of age ceremony basically, or like whatever it might be. Like it's like you have it's your training day, and like this is the day that you're going to graduate to being able to be like a real sentinel. Yeah, I didn't get like a really good taste for like what's happening after that, because like this trailer shows a bunch of like crazy things happening.
Yeah,
like, you don't really get a taste of in the demo. But man, the vibe, the music, the pixel art, and the movement, all good. So if you like Celeste, if you like Metroidvanias, this is definitely worth checking out. It does seem less gay than Celeste, so that's a knock against it in my book. But maybe you like it more. Who knows? And actually, who knows where the story's going after this? So maybe it's more gay, and
you just gotta wait for it.
You just gotta wait for the gay.
Yeah, just wait for the gay. The gay is still in the closet in the trailer, but it'll come out. What was I gonna say? Visually, I think the game looks awesome. The pixel art, I think the pixel art looks really nice, really cool. A lot of it is really small, and I think it looks nice. But then the stuff that like is a little bit larger, like some of those larger characters, I think looks really cool. I can't find them, but yeah, when I first watched this trailer and heard about this game, and they described it as a Celestoidvania, I said, fuck off. Like,
yeah. When I first saw it, I thought of you in our discussions about
like,
genres and whatnot.
Yeah, shut up with your nonsense genre talk. And then I watched the game and I went, ugh, fine. You're right. It looks like Celeste in a Metroidvania. Okay. Again, really, really, you throw anything into a Metroidvania, really. I think you can make it work. Metroidvania, like the top down Zelda likes, those dungeon crawler likes, good bones.
Yeah. I will say, like, buying into those bones is very important, especially for like a demo. Because when playing this, I was having a thought about how like Metroidvania demos that start you at the beginning of the game always feel weird to me, because it's like you don't have most of your tools when you like at the beginning of the game. So like you're trying to sell the game to the player without like 80% of their kit,
Yeah,
which is always very odd to me. Like, so like you like the trailer shows like down slashes and up slashes, when really just in the demo you have your side slashes. So like all your platforming is pretty vertical jump, like kind of like very laddery, whereas later on it seems way more chaotic and way more like dynamic, that I think would be fun to experiment with. The demo that I'm going to talk about after we're done talking about this one does a good job of like showing you multiple points in the video game. But with Lucid, I still came out like, even with the limited like move set, it still came out being like, this has really good bones. Like this would be something really special if the entire like the game just nails, like if it just nails it.
Yeah, I think
and so far it is.
One of the games I'm going to talk about is like very much about this aspect in the gameplay, but with Lucid, it looks like later on the game, like when you're going from like screen to screen, room to room, the big like feel good things are going to be like those finger gymnastics that you like pick up and you learn and perfect to like get from room to room, because like in a lot of like Metroidvanias, like the progression from room to room and retracking your rooms, when you're breezing through rooms, it's just because you've learned how to run past everything or kill everything, and you've learned like what to kill and what not to kill. Like you like figure out the optimal path through a room. Which like can feel good, I guess. But for the most part, it almost feels like filler-y. And what this game has is like platform mastery, basically, through each level. So like when you're going back through level, you're mastering those finger gymnastics, which like I think to me sounds at like a base level more fun. I think it sounds more fun to like Celeste through a simple room rather than just like walk through it, you know? So yeah, I think that's something that this has that's like potentially like really cool for like the longevity of like how the game will feel like start to finish.
The other thing about Lucid is that it does have like loose RPG mechanics where you get different abilities and you can choose which ones you want to spec into and like which like experience points you want to put it into making it so you have like your dash has like a short teleport at the end of it. Do you want to equip like the thing that gives you more health, or would you rather get the thing that gives you like another mechanic, stuff like that, which also just plays into like it being more of like that RPG Metroidvania with Celeste movement.
Yeah. It's crazy that we're talking so much about Lucid and Chatter.
Lucid isn't here.
Chatter Lucid. No. Lucid Charade isn't here for it. But yeah, that game looks very good. When I first saw this game and brought it up a couple weeks ago, I didn't look too much into it, but I was like, this looks pretty good. And like, as like, maybe it was this demo trailer or what, but like as time has gone on, like looking at this now, I'm like, oh, this looks bigger and better than I even first thought. So yeah, I'm excited. This do we have a date for that? Let's go to the Steam store page that you didn't link me. Coming soon.
Well, yeah, coming soon. The only other thing I guess is like it has like the movement, has the atmosphere, the art, and the music down. Like what really comes down to is just like I think the pacing. That's like the make or break, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Like, and so you just gotta hope it nails that, and this could be literally like an incredible little experience.
This is like it's this year I think is like filled with really, really great indie titles. And without say Hollow Knight, I'm not gonna say it now before the game comes out, where this would like compete for like Game of the Year or anything like Hollow Knight Silksong is going to be. But I think without Hollow Knight Silksong, I think this just gets more. This game gets more attention. It's
that is like to your point. Like the thing I did experience like while playing it was just like, oh man, I still have Hollow Knight to beat.
Yeah.
Like I still I'm kind of happy it doesn't have like a necessarily this year release date. Like maybe like I mean obviously like their budget's their budget and their marketing like plan is whatever it is, but like I would give this more breathing time, just pace it out there.
Because it looks like it could be like a really cool special game, like not, I don't want to call it the next Hollow Knight or anything like that, but like it looks like it's something that could spawn like a sequel, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It could be that good. That special. Wow. What? All right. Next game. Your last one of your demo roundup.
One.
Which is one that
Alabaster Dawn.
I also wanted. I have it downloaded. And wanted to play this. We briefly spoke about this once before.
Yeah.
It's by the people who did Crosscode.
Yes, one of my favorite independent games of all time. One of my favorite action RPGs of all time.
Where did we talk about this first? Was it a Nintendo Direct?
Maybe it was, or maybe it was
some other showcase. Maybe
Summer Games Fest, like one of the ones around there.
Maybe.
But man, so like, you know, I said it before. I'll say it like just like now. Crossroad, one of my favorite games of all time, has beautiful pixel art, beautiful, like the really well realized action RPG mechanics. And this game does all of that, and then it's just to a next level. And I'm so fucking thrilled to play this, that I got to play this game, and that it is coming out. So if you don't know, you know, isometric, like action RPG where you have your melee weapon and you have your like that's like set to like square or whatever, or X depending on like what kind of controller. And like you use that to attack, and then you use that to like do your melee attacks, and there's like different type of like, you know, you do your normal 1 2 3, or you do your 1 2 hold 3, or your 1 hold 2, that kind of stuff. And then you also have your trigger, which is your gun, which you have to like kind of twin stick, like you have to aim with your right stick while you shoot. And like these have different mechanics to it, and then this game gives you that, and then it goes, unlike Crosscode, now you have different type of weapons that you get throughout the game too. Like you start off with sword, then you get hammer. Start off with crossbow, then you get these like chakram, like circle things that they throw at you. It's really engaging. You fill out their little like break bars, and they get stunned, where you can really go ham on them. I really suggest trying out this demo. I think it does a wonderful job. Throws you into like the prologue where you're super powerful, and then like you get to play around as like a different character than your main character, and you're just like laying waste. And then then it like teaches you, all right, we're gonna get you there eventually, but here's how you like you're gonna like your main game's gonna play. Not to mention the Gaussian art style of this game, this beautiful 3D pixel art, 2D like combination going on.
Yeah, so
I'm enamored.
I was thinking it watching the trailer, and like it's just like confirmed for me, like looking at just like a screenshot now. The game in screenshots looks nice. It's very nice pixel art. In motion, it doesn't look like anything I can really like explain or like compare it to. Like it's very unique the way like everything looks in motion. Like the pixel art's beautiful. Whatever's going on with whatever 3D elements they have on here, like blends so well together, and it looks so unique in like in motion. And then there's like, you know, the particle effects and stuff. Like there's the lighting that's like very flashy that also like adds to that. And then it looks very quick. It looks very snappy. It's from a team that had success, like you said. Crosscode it's like one of your favorite indie games. They've done this before. 2018. It's been 7 years. That's crazy. But yeah, they're a team that like understands how to make a good game. It seems like they nailed it with that first game, Crosscode. And like the hype around this and the way it looks is just like surpassed anything that I saw from Crosscode ever. This is to be announced for its release date. Lucid was coming soon. Do you think there's a difference?
Not really.
Nah.
I guess like in my heart of hearts, I would imagine coming soon infers like more like sooner than later, whereas to be announced is like more like it could be a year or two.
Yeah.
But like I doubt it though. I do think this like playing through the demo, which is pretty meaty. It's like 45 minutes to an hour for like the main story stuff where it does like you can save your data and carry it over, and then it throws you into like farther later in the game. Like here's what a more complicated boss battle would be like. And then it goes, and let's throw you a little farther than that, and let's show you what kind of puzzle solving you're doing with the dungeons, which are more like a lot of hit. How do I sync up a shot so that it hits all these things and it bounces off wall? That kind of puzzle, like dungeoning. And so it does give you like little like looks into the system, but it does say like right here, it's like a planned 30 to 60 hours of playtime. Super excited to see what that's like. I hope it's sooner than later because I just want to get my hands to keep on playing this gosh darn video game.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it with Lucid, where I was like, oh man, if Lucid came out, this year, the story of Hollow Knight, Silksong, and it's like Game of the Year run is gonna like overshadow Lucid a little bit. However, talking about giving it like a little room to breathe, and like maybe there's a very tight balance to this, but like Alabaster Dawn and Lucid, and like any like really high quality top tier indie games, I think could really be benefiting from Hollow Knight Silksong. Give Silksong its space. It's time to breathe, and it's time to like be in the spotlight. But I just think there are so many people that went to Silksong who like don't play indie games. That maybe it's opened their eyes up. 100%. Maybe it's opened their eyes up, and now like when Silksong has its time and it kind of like wanes down and Game of the Year is over and whatnot, and the conversation about it is just quieter. All those people who like picked up Silksong and was like, wow, this is awesome. Maybe they start looking at some of these other games. And I think that could be huge for the ever growing indie scene.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this forever ago on the show, but like the concept of like the importance of like indie game development in a gaming space where AAA games take 7, 8 years, 10 years to make, and have like a lot of more like difficulties being made and a lot of more trouble, and like they're coming out slower and slower than they ever have. It's just like the fact that like there's these games coming out, and obviously these games aren't out yet, so but you can't, but like Silksong is a great example. We talk about Expedition, talk about Blueprints, talk about Hades 2. Like all these games are coming out that are like near masterpiece experiences at a more frequent rate than the giant AAA games. It's like it's just an exciting time to be like playing indie games, and the more and more of them that come out and keep killing it is hopeful. Like it's 1 second more that we're getting people away from. That's maybe not, but like away from like Roblox. From like it's 1 second more a kid might be like, oh wait, I just saw that really awesome game because of like Silksong is breaking records. Like I should try that, and then they try that, and they try this, and they try this, and they try like another thing.
Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna build off that. What did we say years ago? I'm trying to process this show. My head hurts, and I'm a Mr. Sleepy Man.
Part of you got raptured. Only part of you though.
Oh god damn it, that's right. Yeah. One of the things that's also awesome with like these indie teams, which are smaller, right, is it feels like rather than ramping up their studio into like something huge and like basically just like overstepping like what the scope of their studio can
growing too fast for their like what
some of these studios really seem like it's like specifically with like Team Cherries, like when it made me think of it where they had a hit commercial success, sold really well, and they made enough money to just take their time and make the next game awesome, rather than having to just be like, all right, we made enough money, we have to churn out the next thing, or we made this much money, let's grow and make something even bigger this time. Like it's not like a lot of these studios aren't like holding themselves to a time frame. They make a success and it's just like, awesome, we made this much money, which like gave us this amount of extra time to like really be able to like figure out what we want to do and then start doing it and figure out what our scope is. And like because like with this company Radical Fish, and granted I don't know the story of like when Alabaster Dawn started to come together, but Crosscode released in 2018, right? And I'm sure they probably had some sort of like post-launch team working on things for it, but Alabaster Dawn isn't a thing that had to come out for them 3 years later. Like they didn't have to churn something out to like keep going. They were able to take their time. 7 years later, we've got Alabaster Dawn, and it looks amazing. Super, super unique. So, yeah, no, that's all I wanted to say about indie games.
They're cool.
Yeah,
they're cool.
I have this one downloaded. I planned to also try this demo. I almost did before the show, but I just didn't have the time. I did play some.
Also, your little spirit guy looks a little bit like a capybara. Just want to say, just continuing the capybara.
You're right. No, you're right. That's a little capybara.
Capybara supremacy. You call that dude cabbage.
Capybara Games has a game coming out sometime that I'm excited for too. But they haven't showed anything for a long time, so.
Capybaras.
Next up is kind of, I guess, almost like my take on this thing you did a little bit, but it's some demos that all these games have demos, and I haven't played all of them yet. But these are all games that I mostly found through just like the indie game dev scene on Twitter. A lot of times it's been like, just like maybe a couple dozen or a couple hundred likes on, some things this person is sharing for their game that they're making. And then it eventually like slowly grew and grew. I mentioned it in the pre-show. The best example I have is for the game Haste, where I saw like a person's account tweeting out like gameplay, like dev cycles for this game that they were making it this like downhill runner kind of thing with a lot of speed and momentum, and then it eventually having its procedural generation, and then it disappeared, and I didn't see anything for it for a long time, and then all of a sudden it comes back and it's like marketed as like a game Haste, where when I saw it, it didn't have a name, it didn't have anything, it was just like, here's some gameplay things I'm doing for fun. And these are like kind of similar to that. So the first one that I'll mention, another game we've mentioned before. It's Star Garden, kind of. Star Garden is one that like I strictly saw from from Twitter. That's the like when I found out about it, it was just like on my Twitter. Kirby Air Riders.
Talk about games that just combine two other games and just slam together. And
Yeah,
it works. I really like the idea.
No, these guys, I'm interested to know what did they want to make first? Did they want to make an Air Riders game or a Chow Garden game first? Because like for whatever reason in my mind for this game, these guys wanted to make a Chow Garden game, and then they're like, but what if it was also Kirby Air Riders?
Cool
yeah.
concept.
And yeah, you can download the trial 2 times. There's 2 trials. I don't know what the difference is, if there's a difference.
I don't either. I have one of them downloaded.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet.
But yeah, you can check this out, Star Garden. I won't go into it too much because like I said, we've talked about it on the show before, but it seems neat. If
very much it's Kirby Air Ride City Trials, but you have a Chow that you also raise. So.
Yes, and then that Chow eventually becomes your machine that you use in the city trials, and then you gain more stuff to bring back to your Chow like things to make them into better board machines that you take into this. Yeah, I understand the loop. It seems cool. Seems fun. I should have everything open. Next up is Gunboat God.
Gunboat God.
This one I'm like surprised that this game isn't out yet.
I remember seeing this forever ago.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember seeing Gunboat God a long time ago. And a big part of it that drew me in at first was just like its aesthetic.
Yeah,
with that
Patapon like
a little Patapon like a little like those levels in
Rayman,
Donkey Kong. Maybe Rayman did this too. I was gonna say Donkey Kong, where it's like the black, like the foreground is shadowed and the background is colored. And then and then after that, it's just like the action of it all. Just I don't know. It looks like a fun arcadey shooter. It looks like you have different machines, different weapon types that you can like equip. There's different biomes and worlds. Wish list now, please and thanks, says Tom. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the look of it is what drew me in first.
I find it super interesting that like a lot of the movement is very like I guess for lack of a better words, wave based, where you are like dipping into the void and then you're coming out and like you're doing a very like
Echo the Dolphin.
Your Echo the Dolphin movement while you are like bullet helling basically. Seems super neat and interesting. If I recall correctly, I watched Kind of Funny play this during like a games dev like thing, like indie games came to their studio and they were like each playing like what they had, and it looks super fun. It looks like a game that I would like to. I guess I could join the playtest right now. I could try.
You could join the playtest right now. Again, that is something that like you can do with all the games that you talked about and all the games that I'm about to talk about. Is they all have demos or playtests. But yeah, I don't know. It looks really pretty. It looks really fun. I've seen it for so long. I can't believe it's not out yet. But whatever. That just means they're taking their time.
They're just cooking.
Exactly. Taking their time and they're making it big and cool. It also looks like, so like when I was first seeing this game, a large focus was on bosses. And it's almost, I can almost kind of like compare it to like a Cuphead, where Cuphead originally, when they were just like first doing it, it was just bosses. And like that was like their main goal and game plan was just like these bosses. and then they took the time to like make the levels in between. And that's kind of like what it looked like to me that Gunboat God did, was like they had this idea for the gameplay and for like all these big crazy bosses, and then they've just been working on like the world building and the other levels inside that.
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, our fun is going to be these crazy over the top bosses, but we also want it. Like, let's start with that.
It's not just a boss rush, though. Yeah. So that's Gunboat God. I don't know. Let's see.
God.
Did they do anything else? Nope.
Oh, I didn't.
What a surprise. Next up, 2 games now. I have played the demos for these. And this first one is a game that I saw very, very recently. It's called Slots and Daggers.
Slots and Daggers.
And it's an RPG ish, your roguelike RPG where you are going through levels, fighting monsters. They have attacks and magic and defenses. And so do you. But yours are determined by a slot machine. Similar to like card games where your attacks and your abilities are controlled by what you drew in your deck. This is based off of what you hit on your slots. So like as you're playing, you will, you'll start off and choose your initial loadout of your 3 options. And it's a simple like attack, defend, or money. And as you play, you will be able to upgrade those choices, as well as also buy new possibilities to roll on your slot. So you might be able to get a different type of weapon, or a magic skill or a heal. And then it has, criticals. If you roll, if you have three slots and you roll 3 of the same thing, you get a critical on that option. So you can get a critical hit by doing that, a critical defense by doing that. And then along with, getting new options in your slot machine or upgrading them, you can also eventually add additional slots, I'd guess. So like you start with 3 that roll, and then you'll open up and unlock a 4th and a 5th. So that way, every roll is just like more stuff you're doing, I guess equivalent to a card game. Instead of just playing 3 cards, you're now playing 5 cards. And it, from the demo, the way it plays is very much like you are not going to hop in for your first time and win. There is a slow progression of do a run, don't make it very far, but you unlocked a new thing. And then play again, unlock more stuff, and slowly get further and further, and then open up more options for yourself to create different types of builds, with, attaching this modifier or that modifier, or maybe this time you go in with this build with these other modifiers. It's very quick and simple.
Yeah, a lot of these like roguelites, like really it depends on like how satisfying the like undercurrent progression between runs like feels like, because like I mean out of the gate, I can see easily how frustrating it can be just to like
I didn't hit my jackpot.
yeah, I didn't hit my jackpot, or like I just like my whims are just because of like a roulette, which feels more like, even though like you broke it down to like oh, these are the cards I drew,
Mm-hmm.
like, and that's what I have in my like little Slay the Spire thing. Even that feels like, for whatever reason, more control than like the chaos of a slot machine. So I feel like the the cross run kind of like mechanics that like help you get more what's the word I'm looking for, get like the stuff that you want to get more often with better frequency, more frequent, like, defense or attack, so that your build runs properly and you're able to like make a coherent build. I feel it would really make or break this type of game. It's very, I like the aesthetic. I like how in their description down here they said that they have a bunch of crude drawings of strange little guys, and you gotta love that.
Yeah. I think one of the things is with this is like, the way that I started playing it was that, I'm making a certain build, and with this build, these are the chances I have to do this or that, and like this affects my my chances. It's similar to like, I guess, I don't know, maybe not quite, but like I was thinking like an auto battler, where it's just like you do the setup for a chance to win, if certain conditions are met, and then you watch it happen. I guess you have like a little more control in this. Even I would say, if you wanted to play this way, than a card game, because you can look at the slots and like stare at them and be like, okay, when I see the shield, right when I see the shield fly by, if I hit the stop button, the next two things after that are both swords. So like, if I need a sword, so if I see the shield, hit it. And then, like you can play that way and just like stare at a slot spinning and spinning and spinning, and then time it right. And I did that for about 2 minutes, and it was like, no, I'm just gonna like build it out, and like kind of like, yeah, like I was saying, like auto battler, build it out. Here I put more swords in, so I have a greater chance to attack. Slam the slot button. Oh, look, I got what I wanted, or like, oh, I got some of it. And like, oh, I made a little more progress this time, and then like next time I made a little more progress with my build, because I was able to add more chances to get like a bigger hit. One thing I will say, it's really dark. Maybe it was just like the setting I was in or something, but I thought it was really dark, and like
physically dark, not like
atmospheric. Yeah, like visually, like just like a lot of like the UI just seemed very dark. And maybe that's nice, and maybe that's by design, to make the shiny bits shine more and the rest of it just kind of like fade away, and feel like a little more like, I don't know, maybe casual, like not as much to look at. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I thought the game was neat. It's not quite Balatro, but it might kind of feel like that sort of like game type that somebody could be looking for.
Single developer. I was looking this up, Friedemann, and it seems like very much that game jam type of developer who just like makes a concept and then just runs with it and makes a small little experience with it. All three of his two other games that he made all have very positive reviews, and so like, there's for a single dude, 3 games in 3 years, pretty darn good.
I've played Pizza Possum. It's one of his games. I have played that game. I played it at probably at PAX, actually. I played it at PAX. I went to a PAX one year with my sister. And we played some Pizza Possum there. And it's fine. It's cute. I definitely think, even like just playing Pizza Possum, I think you might be onto something where like it is very much like maybe he just does game jams, and then like when something hits, he expands on it a little bit. Which
It's
like
just because it just seems a little bit that way because like all three of his games are so tonally different and so like mechanically different that it feels like he's just like, all right, I have one little idea, let's just run with it.
well then also yeah, just like also just I guess I don't know Summer House, but just based off of Pizza Possum and Slots and Daggers, like
Mhm.
the idea of it is so simple. Like Slots and Daggers is just it's a slot machine that has attacks or defense on it.
Mhm.
Pizza Possum is you're just a possum running around this little village town stealing the pizzas, and you don't want to get caught by the guards.
Adorable.
Yeah, it's cute. It's like again, it's simple. Pizza Possum at least. And yeah, Slots and Daggers was also pretty simple. It's like if I was to play Slots and Daggers more, I could see it as either a side monitor game or just something that like either like you kick into or wind off of like another game, you know? Like you start with Slots and Daggers to like while you're waiting for your friends to hop on to the Fortnite. Or when you're done with whatever game, you're like, man, I need to wind down just like a little Slots and Daggers, just like see what I roll. Hopefully I hit and don't take it too serious.
And hope like you, but like at the same time, it's like you hope you just don't keep just gotta do another spin. I'm at the Pachico Parlor. Gotta go
one more roll, one more spin.
One more roll.
Just put one more quarter in. But yeah, so that's Slots and Daggers. You can see it says game relevant to you, Balatro. Sure, like I said, I could see that type of crowd like looking at this. And then the last game is Sunset Devils. Yeah. Also, you know, I guess before getting into that, welcome Domo. Thank you, Domo. Yes, you were on screen when we were talking about Crossworlds. I just pulled up your stream for some gameplay. I'm glad that you're addicted to Crossworlds. And happy birthday week.
Happy birthday week.
Happy birthday week. So yeah, Sunset Devils. This one I think could be super, super cool.
I'm looking at, I was like weirded out because I'm like, there's no video.
There's not.
Right? Like there's not, and like on the Steam, and then I scroll down. I get the kind of idea of what I scroll down and I'm seeing like the manual open cylinder, like eject casing kind of stuff happening. And I'm like, whoa, all right, okay.
Yeah. So when I was talking about the finger gymnastics in Lucid, right? This has that. The way that like guns work. So you're on the keyboard, WASD to move around. And then you can press different keys to like, you know, for different inventory slots basically. When you equip a gun, they all work differently.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So like you can kind of see
touchstone to that concept.
You can kind of see on the screen here. The gun and its like ammo belt is kind of on top of a mouse. That's what's behind it. Left click, right click, and the scroll wheel.
Oh, yeah.
So you're basically, it'll be like you scroll wheel up to open the gun. Left click, eject a casing. Right click, eject a casing. Left click, insert another bullet. Right click, insert another bullet. Scroll wheel down to flip it back up. I think then you scroll wheel like down again to cock the hammer on the gun, and then you can shoot it. And then you redo it again to reload. open it up, eject the casings, put more casings in, put it down, cock the hammer, shoot. It's hard, but it's very cool. And yeah, there's different types of guns in here. They all work a little bit differently. So that's something that will play into like what guns you choose to use. Because I think you have 5 inventory slots, maybe 6.
Yeah, see, in like the pictures, you see like a standard revolver, you see a knife, you see what looks more like a Desert Eagle type of little revolver.
Yeah, so you have 5
Snub nose.
you have 5 slots basically. One of them is your active slot.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll pick up different types of guns. You'll pick up, health items. So you're managing your slim inventory. And like obviously you can drop your guns and whatever you have. But part of it for each person's playthrough is going to be like, I have like I've perfected how to shoot, open, load, and shoot again with the pistol, and it feels good and it feels fun. So I'm going to keep using the pistol because the rifle, like I don't have that mechanic down or whatever, So like, because again, they all work differently. You can play the demo for this right now. I'll say out of all the games, the game itself feels like pretty good for the demo, but the stuff around the game with like the menus and just like the launching and exiting the game, all that feels behind.
Gotcha. They're really probably gameplay focused still at this point, right?
Yeah, so like this there's parts of this that just like aren't as polished as some of these other demos, but the gameplay itself I think is very neat and very cool. And then you learn like how to you want to fire the guns and use them or whatnot, but then like you'll find just like certain combos that you want to do with like your finger gymnastics of like swapping between things and whatnot. And even just like with the knife, left and right, like it shows it here, left and right are both slash. Pretty quickly early I realized that they are different slashes. One is slashing left and the other one is slashing back right. So you can do them in quick succession to get 2 slashes, bam, bam, if you do like both slashes. But if you just try one slash, it's, it's a little slower to just keep doing a right slash, a right slash, a right slash. But yeah, you can like go like back and forth, really quick. Yeah, I don't know. This is a game that I think is just like super cool. I'm excited to see how big it gets. It reminds me of like really old arcadey shooters, like maybe like a.
I mean, it has Sunset in the name, so it's probably trying to take a little bit from Sunset Riders.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But then even just like when you shoot the guns, the bullets, the way that they look, they're like so big and they're bright and red, and the way they travel and everything, it just like looks and feels very like old school.
Very Metal Slug. No.
Yeah. Yes. No, but it does. It feels like very Metal Slug, but yeah, I suggest it. Yeah,
I'm gonna add this to my wish list. I've been having a lot of fun with like games that kind of like spice up the shooting mechanics.
This sure does. It's hard.
There's a game I played within the last year that like it's called Beyond Citadel, which I can't suggest to anyone because of like 15 different content warnings. It feels like
okay.
It's just a lot of like gruesome gore stuff that like isn't necessary. But you can play with that turned down if you want. But it plays a lot with a Doom-esque clone, like a shooter, but you do a lot of finger gymnastics with like your keyboard inputs because you have to manually reload and you have to manually, like certain guns you have to manually inject the casing and put a new casing in and stuff like that. So similar, like not with the mouse. I think this game does it way better to kind of keep things on the mouse.
Yeah, it's everything else on the mouse for like that.
Instead of having to remember to do like C is to eject and F is to like I think a little bit of like the keyboard controls my brain trying to do like real-time FPS stuff while also being like perfect with hand placement. I'm just not that good of a keyboardist unless we're talking about notes on a scale.
We weren't.
But it is neat that we keep finding things to iterate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my biggest that's my biggest like intrigue and hype for this game is that like iteration on just like how you actually operate using a gun in a video game. It's very cool. Very cool. And it's like, from what I can tell, at least, I don't think they have said or done anything, but like it's one of those things where it's just like it can really only be done on a mouse. Like maybe you could translate it to a controller, probably. But yeah, like at least how I'm envisioning it and the way that it's like showed on the UI, it's just like it's very unique to how a mouse controls and like the form of a mouse.
That makes like way more sense than like I am trying to imagining like using the dual triggers and one being eject, one being load. It just that feels like it would like I think like you could eventually get into a rhythm with that and kind of stuff like that. I just feel like it's a little bit more less intuitive.
Yeah. But then it's also just like, you know, on a controller, like what is your scroll wheel up and down? And what is that action? Maybe the D-pad? Yeah. Because your left thumbstick is your WASD, your right thumbstick is your mouse control, like aim.
Yeah, your twin stick. Yeah, so it's like twin stick, and then you have to. It doesn't feel good.
Maybe not as good. Maybe it does, but yeah. With the mouse, it like, yeah, you know, maybe it would be the same way with the controller, where it's just like it takes you time to just like think and do it. Especially with other stuff going on the screen, like you're actively being, you know, attacked by other enemies. So you're like running around and doing your reloads and then shooting and aiming and shooting. And, it's a lot, but it's cool. Yeah. And those were the things I played.
And on screen it says game I found on social media, and you gave me 4.
Yep. Deal with it. Next up, it's because of the Rapture.
It's because of the Rapture.
It's because of the Rapture. You know. Yeah,
I brought this topic up because I love silly topics, and today, if you don't know, we're all going to the Rapture. Well, not we're all, but a lot of people are getting raptured.
You'd assume. You'd assume a lot.
Yeah, or maybe just like one guy. I made this joke earlier, just like thinking about like what if one person got raptured?
Yeah,
like, and just no one would know like what happened to that person. Just period.
Hey, Susan, Ted didn't show up to work today. Have you heard from him?
No one ever seen Ted again. But yeah, I thought it would be like a nice bit. I like these weird discussion topics, favorite apocalypses in video games, end of the world scenarios, kind of things. Because, you know, looking back on the video games that you and I love is just fun to do, I think. And I would ask the chat, what are their favorite apocalypses in video games, end of the world scenarios? What have you? Can be little, can be big. It's apocalypse itself.
Mine, I was trying to think of different apocalypses, right? And some of them, I was trying to think like, is it actually an apocalypse or is it just like an outbreak? And that, like, for example, typically they're zombies, like Left 4 Dead and Dead Rising. Like, I'm not sure if those are a zombie apocalypse, or if they're just like
That's
a
a
zombie,
good point.
or if they're just like zombie outbreaks.
Left 4 Dead feels more like an apocalypse. Dead Rising might be
An outbreak.
an outbreak.
I think that's
How I think about that.
how I feel as well. Because both of those were like, you know, not I don't know if they're my favorite apocalypses in video games. I don't know how to rank my favorite ways to end the world in a video game. But those were games that like I enjoyed a lot. I loved them.
It is like very interesting, like going through this and like reading about like, or like double checking. I was like, is there anything I'm missing? And I'm like, oh, so many of these are zombies, and so many of these are not. They don't work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna hard pivot to mine because Dinnermancer right there
said
in
it.
the chat just said, "Bam! Final Fantasy VI."
Yeah.
One of the more influential apocalypses in my life, and just how I reacted to storytelling and video games in general, is getting halfway through Final Fantasy VI, thinking you're like, oh man, this is the end game. I played this game for a good amount of time. Like, sure, I guess it can be over. And then just bam, Kefka like pulling out from using like his little clownness to the betrayal to him like killing the main villain. Spoilers for a fucking 40-year-old game. And winning. He does the thing, he becomes God, and he ends the entire world. And everywhere that you go from now on, like in the second half, is like everyone is suffering, everyone is poor, dying, and it's like you have to piece together the remainder, like whoever's left from like your little rebellion. You're like, there's like 20 characters from Final Fantasy VI. And you have to find like all your guys back to like try to make a run to like heal the world again. And like what comes with all of my choices that I put in here, all the ones I love, come down to like how I love them because I love how they treat with like people trying to fix what went wrong, or just like create some kind of like new normalcy after the world has ended. And so yeah, Dinnermancer shot out with Final Fantasy VI. He also said Chrono Trigger Lavos, which is fun because then you get the Robo, and Robo rules.
One of the first ones that I thought of when I was thinking of this, just based off the name, was BioShock.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Rapture. It's not necessarily, I don't think, an apocalypse. Because I think I don't know. You don't.
That town's apocalypse.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening in the rest of the world. By the start of the game, you are in an airplane, and it crashes. Mm-hmm. But so maybe that was the start of stuff. This cat's gonna come from a pizza again.
Pizza again.
But then after like trying to differentiate, like it was the same thing with like Left 4 Dead and Dead Rising and BioShock, where I'm just like, are these actually apocalypses, or just like isolated incidences where like it really is bad here? I came to Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Like Horizon Zero Dawn, because those worlds are seemingly after an apocalyptic event that like reshaped societies. And that one's cool because it's like an apocalyptic world that is very pretty and colorful now. It's so far after, I guess, the apocalypse happened. That's very colorful and it's very pretty. And guess what? Robot dinosaurs are cool.
Robot dinosaurs are cool.
Robot dinosaurs are cool. So that
yeah, you just looked at the
I just looked at I just look at the docket. I don't know how I forgot about Majora's Mask.
Only like my third favorite game of all time, probably.
Yeah. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn was one of the ones that I had thought about because mostly just like the way and the shape of the world compared to like other apocalypses that I could have thought of. Because like the obvious ones to me were like Metro or Fallout. And I think Stalker, maybe.
Yeah,
I think Stalker. So those were three, like, I guess, obvious ones. And they're all very similar-ish, right? With like
they're all very like
those types of worlds,
brown and gray and like miserable look. But yeah, Horizon's a great pull because it is like anytime I see a game set in like a post-apocalyptic setting or anything set in a post-apocalyptic setting, and you see like the Earth like retaking it, like civilization, I get some semblance of hope for like the planet, right? Like I'm just like, you know what? Maybe when we do inevitably kill ourselves, the planet it'll
heal and be better in the end.
It'll heal and it will be okay. Because like, you know, worse than just killing all of humanity would be also destroying this planet.
Yeah.
But the other things I put down before I guess I'll end with Majora's Mask. I put down Nier Automata just because like it's a game that I love and it's a very interesting post-apocalyptic where it's like 2 apocalypses happen in between Drakengard to Nier Automata. And just like the story it has of like these artificial life forms like trying to connect and trying to figure out like what their purpose is and how they are like the new custodians of the planet is really fascinating to me. It's also incredibly depressing, but it's neat. I put Outer Wilds in here.
I thought that was a good one.
This and it goes along with Majora's Mask in both like their games about the loop of like the end of the world is about to happen. And it's like, how do you kind of like interact with like the world when you know it's going to end, and how like what kind of who are you going to talk to? How are you going to interact with like the people there? And then like there is Outer Wilds specifically would be normally I'm very like cavalier about spoilers. I'm not going to try to spoil Outer Wilds at all. The ending of that game is some of the most beautiful like piece of writing I've ever seen in my entire life. I fucking adore it. I can't hear the end song without wanting to tear up. And how the game manages like, hey, you're stuck in this time loop, the world is ending, what purpose do you have left? What is the purpose there, living that again and again? Whereas Majora's Mask, you see giant moon, it's a little bit more silly, but that game also has this like fun little beauty to like, you know, like the characters that they're getting married right before the world ends. They see the giant moon about to collapse into their city, and they're like, let's still have a wedding ceremony right before it kills us all. It's really like beautiful. And then like again, Majora's Mask, you really break it down, I think is really depressing. For Link, I think most of the people it's not as sad, but for Link himself and being like, well, I did all this and no one knows that I'm a hero. And no one I actually met on any of my journeys
remembers me or like
knows who I am. It's very lonely video game.
Yeah.
But I remember being a kid and being like, what are you talking about? I have 3 days to solve like the end of the world. I can't do that. And then I remember being a dumb little idiot and being like, I don't get how to play this game. You want me to do the Song of Time but backwards? And then you want me to do it in like reverse or like a double time? But yeah. You know, if the world ends today, Chris, it's still got, I don't know whose time is like the finish line.
That's been the question that like I've been trying to like figure out with Tara, 'cause she's been talking about the Rapture also, and like both of us have been like, which time zone are we talking here? Because like
What?
I'd seen the 23rd, but I also saw the 24th. So I don't know if like it starts and like on the 24th, but it's the 24th only in like whatever time zone that it starts in, and it's actually the 23rd for us. I don't know. Has it already happened?
Yeah. So I looked up a map in Oceania. There's a line. Oceania is a fucking fake ass term. I don't know why we use it. There's a line like in front of Japan, or like east of Japan, that is like the last time zone of like that, like we recognize, and so then you jump to Japan, and then it's the earliest, give or take. I don't really know. So I would imagine that like at the very most, what we have like 10 hours left.
Yeah, which uh is a shame.
Mm-hmm. But it's been good hosting the show.
Yeah, it's been 17 episodes. That's been fun. We also like, it's just sad because like we won't ever get to see the next State of Play.
Yeah, the State of Play is tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're not gonna be able to watch it.
No, because we'll have. Well, again, that's the thing with the Rapture, though, right? It's just like not everyone is gone. Like I imagine the executives running.
You and I will still be here.
I was going to say the executives running the State of Play are probably still going to be around. Yeah. So
you're gunning for Herman Hurst. What's his Scottish lawyer name?
That's a terrible name. Herman Wurst.
Herman. I don't remember his name. I'm just gonna look up Herman PlayStation.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, like Domo said, only like 10 hours until the Rapture. I mean, 10 hours until Domo can get Legend rank. Before the player base just, I was gonna say diminishes, but we just don't know. We just don't know. The people playing Sonic Crossroads could be some of the worst people on the planet. I don't know. Maybe that. All right. So the Rapture hits. Which game still has the biggest player base?
League of Legends. Why Sonic?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I had that the moment you started, I knew exactly where you're going. I'm like, this is locked and loaded as well.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot for the apocalypse video games if you have more or not, but
yeah.
We can head into that State of Play.
I just wanted a little fun thing.
Yeah.
All the Souls games are post-apocalyptic. Dinner Master said Demon Souls.
Oh, okay.
Most of them deal with like the first fire, and then like there's a great age of like celebration, and then it fades, and then it's up to you to continue that cycle or not.
Yeah.
And I think Dom was making a reference to the song "Raptured" by Blondie, which is incredible. If he's not, then we should be listening to "Raptured" by Blondie, where Blondie says, "The man from Mars is eating cars." But yeah, I don't know. State of Play predictions.
State of Play predictions tomorrow. State of Play, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. So far, all we know that's confirmed is Saros.
And I'm so fucking excited, Chris.
Yes. That's the game. I guess you would say
Rahul Kohli.
Rahul Kohli led spiritual successor to Returnal. We also know that it is going to be 35 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a good sizable chunk. That means what? I would guess like at least 7 games, if not like I would say 7 to 16 games counting montage.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. 7 games plus a sizzle reel.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Dead silence. No, I was trying to think because at one point I want to ask Chris, is there any part of like a state of play, like any announcement that could at this point convince you that like a PlayStation 5 is worth it to buy
Nah.
as not a PlayStation 5 owner?
Nope. I don't think so. There's just not enough. There's. I don't know if there is a single game
Mm-hmm.
that isn't from Nintendo that can make me think I need the system. Nintendo has that hold. It's been their whole thing, basically. It's just like
This would never happen, but this is in this dumbass hypothetical,
Mm-hmm.
Chris. Blizzard Entertainment, StarCraft 3 console only, PlayStation only. Does that? It can't happen because of like Xbox and stuff like that. But like I'm just thinking of properties that could that like I think you care about, or at least cared about at one point in your life.
I think so. Like StarCraft, anything StarCraft related, being announced at all is like very exciting and huge news. For me personally, I don't think it makes me. It doesn't sell a system for me. There's not a lot.
Cool.
There's not a lot right now that sells a system for me, other than Nintendo stuff. And then like after the Nintendo system, it's PlayStation or Xbox. And I'm just deep in the Xbox ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Nintendo is a very closed system, right?
Yeah.
Xbox feels much more open. And then PlayStation again is like is a bit more closed. It's not as closed as Nintendo. But yeah, I don't know. I'm in that Xbox ecosystem. It's got Game Pass, which I can use across my PC or my Xbox. There's enough games out there across everything that I don't need a PlayStation 5 right now. I guess if things would need to trend in a certain way with like announcements. You son of a bitch, open the pizza box.
Yeah, I mainly asked the question just because of like I was thinking to myself earlier. I was just like, at what point do I not pick up a PlayStation 6? Like, do it because like I'm kind of leaning at the place where I'm like I touch my PlayStation and play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth because that's where I have my remake data and my rebirth data, and like they carry over a bit, and that's just like where I have those games. And I got a PlayStation 5 at launch because I did, because I was like played primarily PS4 and PC at the time. And so, but now I'm just like kind of like, as money existing, it keeps coming for us all.
Yep.
But as video games also get more and more like even PlayStation eventually puts their games on PC slowly. I start to wonder, I'm like, what is the incentive here anymore? Other than digital libraries, which is really the only reason to like keep buying an Xbox. Like I haven't bought and buy a new Xbox because my digital library is not on Xbox. I can't play my older, like the old Xbox games I have are all physical. so I can just play them. But regardless of that, PlayStation 5 obviously has the big narrative of no games and whatnot. I think this state of play prediction, the state of play can help remedy that. Maybe there will be something here that will make me super excited. Soros is going to be one of them. I'm a big Returnal stan.
I think
getting 2 Housemarque games in one console generation might help me feel better about my PS5. Which I feel good about. I don't feel great, but I feel good.
Yes, Soros and Returnal are, it's most, I guess, PlayStation exclusive games, where I'm like, they look very good, very high quality, very cool. But if I'm going to play them, like you said, they typically come to PC later. I have God of War Ragnarok on Steam. Like I didn't need.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's a mediocre video game.
Yeah, well, I got it for free. But
taking shots.
Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, there's like, I don't, if they were like, if Sega was suddenly like, we're only ever releasing games on PlayStation, then that's something where it's like to think about. Then it's just like, then it's not. I don't think it would be, I need to get a PlayStation 5. Then it becomes, I need to think about a PlayStation for the next generation. Not necessarily this one. Some of the like predictions or hopes that I have for the state of play are like pretty big, and it's still, nothing hits the same as, I guess, like Nintendo stuff for me out of this, where it's a lot of these games are like things that I would love to play. But I'm also just like really excited and happy that they exist. I'm weird with video games and like the whole industry and stuff, where it's just like, I'm not going to play that. Really cool that it's available though.
Yeah, I definitely get behind like that thought process. And I think even like I've seen people in the chat mention it, like getting a PS5 now, maybe I probably isn't worth it. That being said, before they really pushed to put their stuff on PC, like the reason why my brain is able to like rationalize the fact that I spent whatever amount of money on a PS5 is like I got to play Ratchet and Clank. And Ratchet and Clank is now on PC, has been for like about a year, but I would pay dumb money to play new Ratchet and Clanks. I would try to find a way to fund Insomniac themselves to just make me new Ratchet and Clanks. I love those games more than almost anything.
I think that's the thing is like, if I already had a PlayStation 5, this would probably be very exciting for me, because
it will still be exciting because these games will come to PC.
It will still be exciting. I just think there would be more excitement for it if I already had a PlayStation 5. So like basically what I'm saying is like, I think for people who have a PS5, this state of play will probably be very cool and exciting. But I don't know what more Sony can do to like push people out to buy a PlayStation 5 in higher droves than whoever's buying PS5s now. Like I'm sure there's like a steady pace of PS5 sales. I just don't know how they or what they could possibly announce to like raise that even higher. Because it kind of feels like the PS5 has like
plateaued a little bit, or like
it's kind of hit everything for like games and IP. Like I'm trying to think of like what's a game or an IP that would resonate with like console or Sony fans, that would sell more. Kind of like you asked at the top of this, like is Splinter Cell something. If Splinter Cell is a PS5 exclusive, are more people going out and buying PS5s? I don't know what else there could be.
Yeah, Splinter Beyond Good and Evil 2. What of that, Chris?
I can't pay $1,000 to play Beyond Good and Evil.
But it's like, I think it's the most tempting thing we've said so far.
It's the silliest. It would be, the bit would, oh my god, that would kill me.
All right, but yeah, I think like PlayStation has touched upon their major IPs. We got Ratchet and Clank, we got God of War, Last of Us,
re-release,
created new IP,
Metal Gear Delta.
So like it does seem to like that they've done their core like stuff just at a really slow pace comparatively to like what people wanted, I guess. But that the factors of that are ballooning budgets, pandemic, 5,000 other things. So that's how we get to where we are today. But I still think there are cool games that can possibly get announced tomorrow. We know Saros. And if you guys didn't play Returnal, you should play Returnal on your gosh darn PC right here, right now. Turn off the show and play Returnal. That game rules.
Don't listen to him. Don't turn off the show.
Man, so good. But we have that. Things that you've wrote down here that I think that we can really like guess will probably be here. Wolverine needs to be talked about eventually.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was booting up Returnal.
Yeah, you're just like, oh man, dude, boss fight when you fight the boss and don't fear the Reaper is playing on piano and he's playing the piano and the bullet hell stuff. It's the coolest thing ever.
Is Returnal on Steam?
I thought it was.
I don't think it is.
One second.
Or Steam's lying to me.
Yeah, Returnal on Steam right here.
I'm on Steam.
Yeah. Are you not old enough?
No, look, hold on. Window capture. Not window capture. Display capture. Returnal.
We were talking about Steam's broken right now. Steam got raptured.
Oh no. Oh my god, that's the worst thing to get raptured.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely on Steam. Lucid, there was a game we were talking about earlier called Lucid. So we talked about you during that. So yeah, but we know we think we're gonna get Wolverine stuff.
Yeah, I had this idea of potentially we get some Marvel Tokon announces Wolverine as a character. And then we see some Wolverine video game. Maybe. Or
or you see Venom character in Token and then you get Venom.
Yeah, or Venom. Same thing. I think Tokon is an exciting possibility for this state of play for like we just had like a playtest for it. People have played the game now. They played like 6 or 8 characters that are announced. I think this is a great time to show off some more characters. Yeah.
For sure. And I think that like this part of the hype of State of Play is now until this game releases is just like the gold mine of fighter reveals.
Yeah.
Which is what we talked about it. I'll talk about it to the end of my days. There's something more hype than a new character being announced in a fighting game that you might not even play. It's just cool. And it's infinite hype cycle. That I was thinking about this. Do you think Token releases before May? Is it ready for next Evo?
Yes. Well, okay. I think it's possible that it releases before Evo, but isn't at Evo as a like. I think it could be at Evo as like a side game, like a developer, one of like the developer run stages, but not as like a main stage game. Similar to like Rivals of Aether. Rivals of Aether 2 was at Evo. A couple of years ago, Multiverses was at Evo, but it's just like a side game that's run by the company that made the game. So I think that's possible. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's just like not out in time.
Yeah, because I like it. Like, you think you want that. I know Sony like sold their shares of Evo to another part of Sony, which is just really silly and whatever. So like they're still involved in Evo. And you know, for all the controversy of Evo right now. So I do think they want it out before, like, they can advertise their game at the big event. And I do like your idea of tying in like Wolverine and or Venom. Despite my heart hurting that Insomniac is now Marvel Game Studio first, and Ratchet and Clank second.
Kind of like how Naughty Dog, you know, they were Crash Bandicoot first, and now they kicked Crash to the side, and now they just love The Last of Us.
You hate to see it.
Yeah,
game developers, you know, maturing, not wanting to make mascots anymore. What the heck?
Yeah, I can't wait for Microsoft to own Ratchet and Clank and not do a thing with them.
Yeah,
just like they do with Crash.
Yeah, you know, IPs in hell, quadruple A corporations in hell. That being said, I am excited. I like Wolverine's my favorite Marvel superhero, my second favorite superhero of all time. I'm going to be excited to see what that game is like. So everything I just said, throw it out the window. See my guy / things. Venom could be fine if it's like a Miles Morales, like kind of shorter experience. I don't want another. I don't know. Spider-Man 2 is fine. It's an okay game.
From what I saw from the rumor, that is exactly what the Venom game is a Miles Morales sized experience.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's like Insomniac. So what else? Naughty Dog
with Intergalactic, whatever.
The giant name that I'll never remember how to pronounce.
It's Intergalactic. That's what I remember.
Yep. That's cool. More of that game. Naughty Dog doesn't make games I particularly love anymore, but
it's still like it's still a big deal when it happens, though. You know, like it's still
right. It's gonna be the zeitgeist game for a while.
Yeah,
people will be yapping about it, and games media people will yap about it, and then 15,000 people will write video essays on it.
And like, you know, we talked about Naughty Dog and Insomniac. There's also Guerrilla, who's just the Horizon team now, no longer the Killzone people. But
do you think there's anyone clamoring for more Killzone? Out of all these franchises that like are held hostage by these studios, I really feel like Killzone. I don't know a Killzone person.
I mean, did Sony ever have a shooter that popped off? Like, there was a point on the PS3 where Killzone was like the closest thing to competing with like a Halo or a Call of Duty, and I really liked it. I forget which one it was. I think it was Killzone 3. It was really cool.
Killzone. Resistance is that also first person?
I don't remember. It's a shooter. That's all. Third or first person. Resistance just doesn't. Resistance, I think. Yeah, again.
Insomniac.
Killzone loses to Halo. Resistance loses to Gears. Haze.
Oh yeah! Shout out to the Haze reference. Let's go, man. That cover, the cover of that lives rent free in my mind.
But yeah, for like multiplayer first person like shooters, like I don't think Sony has one. But yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of Guerrilla, there's some sort of like, I guess, co-op Horizon game that had been in the works. I feel like
along with the MMO Horizon game. I think there's 2 different ones
And then there was the Lego Horizon game.
that came out.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying there's a lot of Horizon.
It's a bit, it's, you know, the Horizon is on the horizon.
I guess so. I just it's hard to imagine, for me at least, seeing another Horizon thing, but it's possible because there's a lot of Horizon, stuff being done.
Yeah, oversaturation. They like feel like they hit a little bit of gold mine, and they are trying to like scrambling to. I mean, Sony is in this place right now where like, I mean, like every of like big studio that exists and throws their money around as much as they do are like looking for like just something to franchise out and make them money and run it dry and then start again. Like, and just Horizon's the one that hit where like Days Gone didn't hit commercially.
Yep.
And like, you know, some of these other games didn't hit as much. Like Tsushima's got a sequel, and I didn't really necessarily think that might have been like a game that would get a sequel, but that did.
I'm glad it did, and that's out. Yep. That I think that could be here, Ghost of Yotai, just as like.
I think it's interesting.
I think it could be here just as like a last, like, it's out on.
Remember our game.
It's out in a couple days, and here's our launch trailer.
I do think this is just like from like my brain like thinks it's odd from a marketing perspective to like your state of play is today, and then the next day is the like the embargo is up for Ghost of Yotai, and it feels like you're kind of cannibalizing your like media time a little bit, because like if everyone is already moving on to Ghost of Yotai talk the day after state of play, then like I don't know, it like the timing of it is just weird to me. You have on here Resident Evil update.
Yeah,
so many rumors point to Leon finally being shown off.
Tomorrow. Resident Evil has always felt like a Sony like press conference game to me. I don't know why.
He shows up often here. Capcom often shows Resident Evil at PlayStation for some reason. Maybe it's because of history.
Maybe. But I that's why I initially put Resident Evil, and then I did see something that was like rumors of Leon, and maybe Leon gets shown here.
See my beautiful boy in his last outing, supposedly, which makes me very scared. I don't know. I don't think Capcom has the guts to kill Leon, but they could, and I would probably be very, very upset.
I think they could. I think they very well could. I think
kill any other gun.
I think I think it kind of would be funny for Resident Evil to reveal something like that. Right as the Silent Hill game is being released.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's funny.
Yeah, and like for other I was thinking about this for other like third person, like third party developers, like the 2 big Square Enix games like feel too big for a state of play or for any like conference outside of Game Awards or like the big like the PlayStation presents or Xbox presents like during the summer. So I don't think it's time to get Final Fantasy VII Remake 3 or Kingdom Hearts 4, but we could get Final Fantasy 9 Remake. That's been the last game in the NVIDIA leak to not be announced, I'm pretty sure. I would love that. I want to see my boy Vivi.
I mean, so one thing also that I've been thinking with this is we also have the Tokyo Game Show this weekend.
TGS,
so one of the things I was trying to think is like for Final Fantasy or like Dragon Quest, would like I'm with you. I don't think we see the like third game in the remake series, but like for Final Fantasy IX remake, do you think that could show up in the Tokyo Game Show somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, like again, like Square Enix just has like it's in the small like territory of like Sega, um, and Capcom as like the developers that can put their stuff anywhere, and I think we'll do fine.
Yeah.
Like it will get the buzz because like you say Final Fantasy, and a quarter, like a tenth of the population looks at it.
I guess my thought,
like
my thought is just like, because they're RPGs, because they're Japanese
and it's
RPGs, like,
yeah,
is that something that gains more traction at Tokyo Game Show, or to the state of play that's just outside?
Yeah, I would say it would be honestly just outside because of the Final Fantasy is a worldwide like right thing. Whereas I would on it's like this is pedantic as all fucking hell. I think Dragon Quest is slightly more Japan, like it's still very popular worldwide, but like Dragon Quest is a gosh darn like piece of Japanese culture that will always be a piece of their culture. So like something like that could definitely be more TGS focused, where something like Final Fantasy is want something with a broader stage. A state of play is a bigger worldwide thing than like obviously most of these outlets are going to still cover Tokyo Game Show, but you won't have as many eyes on it from like the rest of the world.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think if like I'm thinking of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, I think also that like if they were to both show up in this next week, Final Fantasy will show up in the state of play, and then Dragon Quest will show up somewhere in Tokyo Game Show. Whether that be the new game or just more info about the reimagined game or whatever. Lucid Chat, I don't know if you read this, or internal memos from a leaker known to usually be accurate was canceled. That'd be crazy. I feel like out of like Final Fantasy remakes that they could do, your last ones are 9 and 10. I don't think like obviously, like, you know, after 10, the only things left are either 2 new, an MMO, or it's 12 and the 3 13s. And I don't think you I don't think you remake 12. I don't think you remake the 13s. Not right now, especially.
Yeah, I think you definitely go back from the well. Like you have to go farther back to one of the first 10. I mean, like 13 does need to be ported to other things right now. I mean, it's available on PC, but console-wise, there's no way to play those outside of being on PC and getting an old console. 12 is one of my favorites. That had the remaster. I don't think it needs a remake. So yeah, you're thinking of 10, you're thinking of 9. I mean, like most of these have like quality of life remasters, but not at the level that we think 9 would be at.
Right. Yeah, I think
7 is, but I don't think anything gets what 7 is. I don't think
No. I think it's hard. Like I was trying to think of even like if you remade 6, like what does that look like other than just like, is it HD 2D or 2D HD, whatever it is, or like can you make 6 like with 3D models? It'd be cool. Like does 6 look similar to like the Dragon Quest 7 reimagined? You know, can you do something like that with one of those older pixel games? But Yeah, other than doing something like that, I think 9, which was the rumored one, would be a big deal. But if they suddenly instead showed 10, I think that would be an enormous pop off.
Yeah.
I know
Like,
a lot of people whose first Final Fantasy game was 10.
Yeah, it's very like I don't envy, like, I mean, Square's position in all of this, and like, because like there's probably a large amount of the people that's like 6 is our favorite, right? Because like, if people pick a favorite, it's typically 6, 7, 10. Those are like the main 3. Of course, you're gonna have your 9s. So Lucid loves 9 the most. I know you are a big 8 stan. And I know people. I have one friend whose favorite is 13. I have one whose favorite, like, you're gonna have, but the main 3 are gonna be those ones. I think 10 still feels so. It still feels modern enough. It still feels very like playable, and like with just like small graphical updates, it still feels like a very good, very like a game that's aged very well. Whereas like 6, there is still a portion of the population that are like, pixel 2D game, I'm not gonna play that, which is, fuck you in my brain. But I don't think you can 3Dize 6 good, period, in a way. I mean, like, I'll say that, but like they could do it and blow me out of the water. But it just seems like such a crazy undertaking for how big 6 is, how many moving parts 6 has, the amount of characters that they would have to balance if they were to try to 7-eyes it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm because I looked up Final Fantasy X's release date. In July, next July, it'll be 25 years. Which is like a big number. But yeah, did they already do an HD remaster for X and X2, right?
Yeah, they had like just like the PS4 era bundle where it's just like, up-res a little bit, some of it looks better, some of it doesn't.
And like just the fact that they've done anything with it, like if you're going to do something again, you're like, yeah, you're doing something like along the lines of what they did with 7. Or nothing at all, because you already did the HD remaster. So like, yeah, it's either,
I think it has to be, it just has to
at 9, or you do something wild with an older one.
Or, you ready for this? You ready for it? Tokyo Game Show, Chris. Crystal Chronicles.
Okay.
New one.
All right. Let's go. Hit me with that. A brand new Crystal Chronicles.
To be honest, I can't imagine that the Crystal Chronicles remake on the Switch sold very well.
Yeah.
But fuck it. Listen, Square Enix loves making games that they shouldn't be making.
That's true. They have made some really stupid games.
Why was racing so microtransactions?
Oh my god, hold on. What is this game? Hold on. Worst Square Enix game. There's one specific game. Is it the Quiet Man?
Harvestella.
No, I think
Quiet Man. Oh yeah,
Quiet Man.
Quiet Man.
I think Quiet Man's the one I was thinking of, where like, and also who made Balan Wonderworld?
Oh, that is.
Is that Square?
That's the former Knights creator, right?
But that is Square. That's also Square. So
yeah, man, I still want to buy and play Balan Wonderland. Yeah, published by Square. So.
And then the Quiet Man. So yeah, they make some dumb choices, but we'll see. The only other thing that I have on here was Ape Escape.
Hell yeah. Which gosh darn studio owns Ape Escape right now? I mean, they can be moved around, but I'm just curious.
I know that there's like other reasons to the Ape Escape monkey appearing, but when they showed Delta, Metal Gear Solid, when they showed that and they showed the Ape Escape monkey, that's what made me think like, oh, maybe they could work on another Ape Escape thing.
Ape Escape is one of the first like challenge levels in Astrobot.
Could we see Astrobot DLC? And would that be exciting?
No. Yeah, I mean, Astrobot's just so good. I think it would be like mildly exciting. I know there's still some franchises that they haven't, like there's no Twisted Metal, or a couple other things. Siphon Filter, in Astrobot. Does it need it? Probably not. But you could maybe do a smaller thing. I don't think. Like, so I saw somebody be like, "Do you think that Astrobot will get another VR game?" I don't. PlayStation VR 2 is like pretty much a failure. But you could.
The dude who trained me at my new job is a huge fan of the PSVR, and I'm just like, all right, man.
Don't let him watch our show and have me clown on the PSVR.
If you say so, guy. All right.
You get to play Beat Saber better on other versions of VR. Moss is cool. Rescue
Moss is cool. You nailed it. You got them all.
There you go. But I'm a VR unenjoyer, so. Anything else? There's probably going to be something neat, exciting that I'm sure that I can't think of. Konami could be neat. They could try. They're making games again. So
Katamari.
They're going to throw the Katamari.
Could show up again.
Could show up again.
Yeah, it's hard. Like we mentioned it.
No, the God of War Metroidvania. That's been in rumor.
Okay. Yeah, I think like I'm trying to think what else. What other big IP we see something from, and it's hard just because we've seen everything. I think maybe another God of War spin-off, but not like a mainline thing.
Oh, dude, what if we see more gosh darn Tides of Annihilation? A game that I think only I care about.
No, I know what you're talking about.
You play as gosh darn Gwendolyn.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, what's Blue Point doing?
Yeah, what is Blue Point doing? Should be doing something. Oh, you know what? Last year at the Game Awards, we got that teaser of the new that used to be Team Eco. I don't know their name anymore.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The big mech. Maybe we get some info on that.
I don't remember what that's even called.
It had a project, like Project Robot or something really generic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ready to really
I don't even know if it had one.
Like,
I think you're right. It's just Project Robot.
It's 4 years for that. Bloodborne remaster won't ever happen. Miyazaki's mad. He just doesn't care anymore.
I didn't even want to bring that up. I didn't even want to mention Bloodborne.
Sly Cooper won't happen because did you see that? Because Guerrilla was Team Ninja, right? Well, now my brain is freezing. Which one is it? The team that owns, like, in their theory, they own Sly Cooper. They interviewed their devs, like, hey, would you be interested in working on a Sly Cooper game? And like, only like 15% of them even knew that they had Sly Cooper.
Oh, really? They were just like, can we even do that? Like, are we? Well, we have, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
I like video game announcements. I like video games. So I'm going to watch it, and then hopefully I see at least one thing that I'm like, oh, I'll be able to play that eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably like get around to it like on break or something tomorrow.
Dynasty Warriors Origins 2. Let's go.
No.
I need to play the first one still. Nobunaga's Ambition 14. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 20. Legend of Dragoon remade. Legitimately give me that though. Everything else has been a bit. Give me that.
All right, well, that's it. That's the show.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's go play the game though and get the heck out of this.
Yeah.
It's my guy Luke. I would play Legends of Dragoon.
Wasn't you? I don't know. All right. Closing things. Let's see. State of Play tomorrow. Tokyo Game Show this weekend. We'll probably talk about this next week. Crossworlds launches.
Hades 2 launches.
Hades 2 launches. 1.0 on the Switch. And PC, I imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you and I, we talked about doing our little like game thing, so we might pick our game and talk about what that even is.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, like we might both choose a game, a newer release game to both play and come back and talk about.
And you guys can play it too. Something might be interesting.
Something small.
Yeah, something typically out.
Yeah.
Talking more about it next week, but it'd be interesting. Joe, if there's a new Soccer Wars demo, don't speak in my language. It's Soccer Wars.
Demo does speak your language.
But like, I don't want like that the Musou clone Soccer Wars. Give me the tactic Soccer Wars.
Yeah. All right, I'm out of here. I'm tired. My head hurts. I need food and to protect my pizza from these cats who keep trying to take it. So we'll see you next Tuesday, September 30th. Oh, dang. And then we can also talk about the games coming out in October.
Yeah. Our next show is going to be way easier to plan, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have too many topics. We're just throwing topics out.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Stick around if you want to join us for the game till the post show.
Live on twitch.tv/CParks. We have a pre-show and a post-show. Come watch it. But for YouTube, goodbye. Tell me what you think is going to be at the Tokyo Game Show and State of Play. Bye. I don't know if I ever hit the right button.
Well, maybe you did. Maybe you didn't.
No, probably not. I'm just